Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Old Game Saturday. This is a retro show that I put on every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for classic gaming goodness or aniness, as driven by what you have to say in the chat as well. Tonight I got a very special show for you as we enter the final month of 2021, which is the first full year of the program, and I cannot believe that we're already near the end of the year. We've had a great year on this show with all the games we've played, with all the great discussions we've had. And I also realized something, which is, given the games we're going to be playing for the next few weeks, pretty much everything is going to be by Sonic Team. I did not realize that until just the other day. And now we're going to get that ball rolling with that. The only game that's not going to be the case is going to be the next part of Kingdom Hearts. I believe we're up to part 4 on that one now. Yeah, but for tonight, I'm on the Nintendo Switch menu because you're seeing there on the screen, there's Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64. Two of them, and I'll get into reasons as to why that is, but that means we're talking about the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack. Yeah, the much reviled system of Nintendo's that launched about a month ago for $50 for a year as opposed to the $20 for the regular Switch Online side. I figured since we're going to be using this to play Ristar, which is the game we're playing tonight, from 1995 for the Sega Genesis, where it's ported great on the Genesis side, I think we need to take a look at this service, see how it's looking the month afterwards, and also with a little bit of an update coming next week as far as the Nintendo 64 side. In fact, you're seeing down there at the bottom of the screen, I do have the Nintendo 64 controller for this, and then I'm going to be switching back to the Genesis one for the purpose of the Genesis stuff. But if nothing else, just to give a sense of this, we're going to go through looking what the games are on both the Nintendo 64 sides. You're wondering why there's two of them? It's because one's US and one's Japanese. The one that is, only the first letter capitalized, that's US. Everything capitalized there for Nintendo 64, that is the Japanese side. Hello, Dolly Finn. Good to see you tonight. For Ristar for Sega Genesis, we're using the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack to play this, but since this is such a contentious update of Nintendo's for the Switch, and it still has problems with it, I figured I want to go through this, specifically with the N64 side, and then we'll go to the Genesis side, because the Genesis stuff was done great. Hi, Electverse, good to see you again, and we are here for the playthrough of Ristar, but before we start that, I know we've talked about the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack. We're going to talk about it. And the reason I'm using this for Ristar is because the emulation for the Genesis side is immaculate. It is some of the best emulation I've ever seen for this. And for this game that's terrific, that I don't have a copy of because it costs a lot of money, though it is in a bunch of collections as it is, I figured this is the opportunity for us to show it this way and to show off the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack to talk about it a little bit. That's what the first couple minutes of the show are going to be. I'd say probably like 15 minutes maybe, I would think. And then we'll play Ristar itself and go into that. And you're probably wondering, just to go into this, why do I have two of these? In fact, one of my coworkers said specifically, why are there two Nintendo 64 logos? Why do they look the same? Well, yeah, if you see the Nintendo 64 there, the Nintendo capitalized there, yeah, this is the Japanese side, and this is the US side, and this is not some kind of hack I have exactly, because here's the thing, you're also probably seeing my Switch profiles. I have mine for Captain D-Track, is the name of the user of the program, or person who runs the program as it is, and Super Old Game Saturday. I started this account specifically on this system, and used an older email address to set up a Nintendo account. And you can do this. It's not it's nothing contentious to do this. And we sign up for the other one. Set it to Japanese as far as the store, and you can go onto the store. You can download the Japanese sides of each of these, including also the Super Famicom and I don't have it shown here, the Family Computer side. So you can get the Japanese stuff, including the fact that on Super Famicom side, there is the Shin Megami Tensei game, but you have to read Japanese or have a translation next to you in order to get anywhere with it. But I figured, well, let's at least look at this stuff for the Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, because this is a $50 investment. And a lot of people were saying when this was coming out, man, this costs a lot of money. We've had discussions about that even on this program. And then it came out and people realized, hey, there's issues with emulation on the N64 side. In fact, we're going to take a quick look at the N64 side. I guess get a little bit of a preview of some of the games we're going to be doing next year, because we have a lot of Nintendo 64 stuff that's going to be on tap for next year for the Zelda games that are going to come, and also because I have the controller for that, you hear the Nintendo 64 sounds when you boot it up or move around. Most of them for Super Mario 64. I didn't know, I think they all are for that. The other thing you can also do is you can set Rumble on this thing and have the US and European versions. So that's you're wondering why are there two copies of Ocarina of Time? Yeah, that's why. You can play it how Europe played it, where it was running at 50 hertz and it's slow as anything. And man, as someone who grew up in the US, I feel for them now looking at it. But you have options to that. You also have Dr. Mario 64. You have Zelda Ocarina of Time. Lilo Wars, which is the European name of Star Fox 64, which is over here. Mario Kart 64, Mario Tennis, Win Back, Covert Operations. I'm surprised on this one. This is, I think, the only game in this I either don't have somewhere I haven't played. Then Extended Punishment, Super Mario 64, and Yoshi's Story. These are badly emulated, I will say, specifically because there's slowdown in a lot of these games. Yoshi's Story being amongst the worst of it, and noticeable button input lag, which is definitely a problem for a lot of these things. And given that people were mad enough that they were asking $50 for this a year for this entire service, to kind of have it come out and have emulation problems with button lag and slowdown, and it's easily running worse, or definitely running worse, than the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console releases of this stuff, people said, yeah, we're not happy about this. And I guess Nintendo heard it. They said they're going to do stuff to fix it. We'll see. The one thing I do know is that next week they're putting Paper Mario up here. So next Friday that's going to come up, and we'll see if it has issues with button lags. Are they trying to fix it? They've said yes, but the most we've heard so far is the fact that next week Paper Mario is going to be added here, which is nice for the purpose of, hey, if you haven't played Paper Mario before, okay, yeah, well, we'll see. But here's my question. I'll go into this. Thank you for bringing that up, Dolly Finn, because for all the systems they offer here, Super Nintendo, NES, Nintendo 64, and Sega Genesis, yeah, Paper Mario is coming to Switch. Oh, that one is on top of the one that already exists, which is Paper Mario, the Origami King. I know people who really like that and people who don't and say, like, hey, I want the old one, so the old one's coming. But yeah, for all the systems that are on this, what they do is they update the app for this. But I don't know necessarily, because of the button lag concerns with the N64 side, the other systems don't have this, if that's going to be a case where, I guess Nintendo, them updating this application is going to affect all of the software here, or if it's only going to go when Paper Mario drops next Friday. And so next week's show, I can give you an idea of what that looks like, if it's going all right. But one thing I'd do is going to go home. I'm going to show the Japanese side. It's not really that much different. And the reason, I have the Japanese and US sides of this is because in the case of some of the systems, there's different games. The games Japan has that we don't, and vice versa. In fact, on N64, Japan got off worse than we did because they have Zelda Ocarina of Time. You do get the Japanese box art, so that's interesting to see. They have Ocarina of Time, they have Mario Kart 64, they have Mario Tennis 64, they name it that here. There's Star Fox 64, there's Super Mario 64, Yoshi's Story, Win Back, and Sin Punishment. But yeah, Dr. Mario 64 is not on Japan's service. I don't remember if it didn't come out in Japan, but point is it's not here. Next week for Paper Mario, they're going to add it for both Japan and the US. So if you have one or both of these apps for your Switch system, you will have access to them. But whenever you start these, you're going to have them in Japanese. But it sometimes makes for interesting differences because some of the voice work was changed for Mario Kart 64 when it came out to the US. And same with Mario Tennis. They actually have the 64 name in the Japanese version where they do not in the US. And the options are the same, so our single player, playing online, but I've also heard the online play for these that have online multiplayer, have multiplayer that you can play online or anywhere, would be Mario 64, Mario Tennis, and Star Fox. I guess Winback sort of has multiplayer. I'm hearing it's horrible. I haven't actually done the online for it. I should probably check that to see how it is, but I've heard it's slow and laggy, although, to be fair, the Nintendo Switch Online has always had a problem with that. Super Nintendo NES stuff has been a problem. I love the Japanese box art, and that's the other reason I'm glad you are thinking that. Thank you for letting me know, and also I'm glad to show it, and that's the other reason why I figured let's show off both the Japanese and the US side of things to give a sense of, okay, how are they marketing games for Japan and for US? And actually, some of these were kind of used in the US, like for Yoshi's Story here. This is the cover of the instruction manual for the US version, but this is how it looked when it came out for Japan compared to what we got. But there is something to be said about that, because actually, I guess that's the one unique thing, is that for the Japanese boxes, they are kind of in the, I guess, the the vertical rectangle shape, whereas it was kind of like the horizontal rectangle shape for the US. But it does have a sense of, like, okay, this is how they marketed some games for Japan. I mean, even look at Ocarina of Time. Okay, fine, the US version is a little more minimalistic. I was going to say this is, but because you actually do see Link and Epona there, and in a month we are going to be doing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time starting. I just have to talk to Protorova on how the schedule that's going to look when we start that next month. And we're not going to use this, though, for this. We're going to be using I have it on Nintendo 64. I have the gold cartridge version, which has the content that was initially in the game before they released it, because they printed a couple cartridges for it before it came out, and then for the European release, they made some other changes. I have the version of it that has those original elements, unaltered, and it will run better than it runs on this, because that was the first thing I did when I got this. I said, let's run Ocarina of Time. I ran 3 versions. I ran this one, the European side, on the US version, or on the US online element, and then the US one. it was kind of an interesting case going back and forth between those. Like, yeah, I'm playing this opening of this 3 times and seeing where the differences are with the language, how they're translating stuff, some of the voice changes, and then also the frame rate problem. The Yoshi looks so cute. Yeah, and fitting for Yoshi's story. And at some point, I think we do need to do Yoshi's story. That's going to go on. I mean, we've mentioned that game before. I just don't know how I want to handle that as far as showing it, because I do think I want to showcase all the levels off in that if I can, but that also means that I'd have to play through the story mode once to go through 4 stages and then have everything unlocked, and I'm going to use the Wii U Virtual Console version for this because I have that for the controls. Well, in that case, yeah, you do get that in fitting because the idea of the baby Yoshis, because Yoshi's story, we'll get into that when we do this, and I'll figure when we can do that, but it's definitely going to come down the road for sure, don't you worry. The baby Yoshis came out of their eggs and are going to save the Super Happy Tree as it was. And with the Japanese version, it does kind of reflect that really nicely. And with a lot of the Yoshi games, there were Yoshi's Island before it and the other ones after, it is almost this kind of handcrafted look to itself. It almost looks like paper mache if you're looking like this. And the game itself reflects that, as did many games in that franchise going further. But yeah, and also Sin and Punishment, which initially was Japan only, we didn't get it until the Wii Virtual Console in 2007. Even though it was totally translated for American languages with English and English voice acting, weird enough. But yeah, it was, they didn't release that. But yeah, you have access to that here. And here's the other thing also about me having the Japanese side of things. I know Nintendo said they're going to add the custom Robo games for that, which US didn't get. So if they don't put it out for the US application, it doesn't matter because I have access to it here. But with the emulation stuff, that's going to be a question mark. But I just want to give a sense of, like, okay, this is what it offers, but also mention, like, where am I coming on how I've played this stuff, because, yeah, this is where it's the weakest, and this is where Nintendo, they said they're going to hopefully handle stuff like this, but, yeah, I don't know, we'll have to see what's going on there. A lot of people angry. There are a lot of people angry with Paper Mario's announcement, because they said, hey, you're only giving us this, where are the rest of them? I mean, Paper Mario's a pretty big game. You could feasibly be playing that for the rest of the year, honestly. That's how big the scope of that game is, despite it kind of having, like, a small, intimate feel, so it's kind of interesting that way. But they're saying, like, hey, we want more, and we want to make sure this thing is emulated correctly. I'll have an answer on the emulation correctly part next week, because next Friday, they will drop Paper Mario for here, and I will tell you how it is next week when we do Sonic Heroes. But speaking of Sonic, hit the home button. Also, one other thing about both of these controllers, yeah, you can't please some people. That's true, but look, I agree with them 100% about the button lag thing, because here's the thing, we talked about this before, and Lictorus, you mentioned this. We did Luigi's Mansion. You said, the cost of this is too much. You said, it's $50 for a year, compared to what Sony has for PlayStation Plus, given what they offer, like sales and trials of games, that $50 for this is kind of a slap in the face comparatively. And that's not an unfair argument. I completely understand that completely for what we've talked about. And I'll say this, even the people who are upset about the pricing, I don't even think they knew that, hey, there'd be button lag concerns. That was my surprise. Like, why is there button lag to this? And to be fair, if you don't necessarily care about that, this is not necessarily a bad option. If you're like, hey, I don't have access to a system that has this may be the best way to go. But given that, and we're going to see this in just a second, given that the Genesis emulation is so spot on, you're thinking, I'd like to see Nintendo handle their own stuff better than Sega. And some people say, like, hey, wait a second, the reason this cost so much is because Sega was going to be, they said, Sega was holding out on Nintendo saying, you're going to charge more for this just to get access to it. But I was thinking, like, no, Nintendo could just say to Sega, yeah, we kicked your ass in the 16-bit era, and they did. I mean, Sega ceded the 16-bit era to Nintendo, and, okay, there's a friend of mine playing Tetris Effect Connected. Apparently Sony might combine PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. Yeah, I heard about that. I think IGN had a report on that, amongst other places. I think they were saying they kind of are looking at what Microsoft's doing with Game Pass to kind of have a mix of the two and say, like, hey, access to a bunch of games simultaneously. I think that's kind of the idea. And I guess Nintendo's getting a look at that with what it is. At a third tier as well as classic games. Okay, I didn't hear that part of it. Which I know we talked about that before. We've said, with the thought that the PlayStation 3 and PSP and Vita stores were going to close, I think the PSP one did close, I believe, or one of those did. The thought of, like, what's getting lost, and is there going to be some kind of retaining of Sony stuff? That might be the answer, depending on how they're doing it. I guess this is Nintendo's answer to a certain extent of saying, like, hey, we have access to Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, NES, and Super Nintendo here for you. Although, again, the question of, hey, you're not owning this, it's basically just a service that as long as you have it, you have access to this. But if you're just paying the $20 a year, you have the Super Nintendo and NES stuff as it is. But with that all said, and talking about the N64 stuff, let's talk about the Genesis side of things. What I'm going to do now is plug in my Sega Genesis Switch controller as well. Although on the lower left-hand corner of the screen, they're not reflecting that it's a Genesis controller, but you'll see when we go in to both of these, including the Japanese side of Mega Drive, and then we're going to end on with the Genesis side. But here's the other case, is that I've been talking a lot about the emulation of Nintendo 64 stuff. Well, the Genesis doesn't have that problem. Go back to the Genesis days of the old commercials where they said, Genesis does 16-bit arcade graphics. You can't do this on Nintendo, Genesis does. Well, you can do this on Nintendo, but yeah, Genesis does what Nintendo don't for sure on this one, because the emulation here is immaculate. If you get that nowadays, Sega. Although this is the Mega Drive, which is what the Genesis was known as in Japan, and I believe in Europe. And talking about the Japanese box arts, here they are. We have Echo the Dolphin, we have Gunstar Heroes, we have, this is Contra Hardcore, although it's, I believe, named differently for Japan, as far as, also the box art's way different. We'll see that, because we're going to go on the US side of things to show that. And then Golden Axe, as well as the Super Shinobi 3, or Super Shinobi 2, which is Shinobi 3. And here's the newest article on the Sony merging case with the subscription. I will definitely put a link to that in the description and take a look at that later as well. Thank you for providing that elect verse. Again, and thank you all, you, Dolly Finn, and everybody for showing up to the chat and to the show tonight. Yeah, here's Shinobi 3 for Japan. They just named it differently for us. And then there's also Shining Force, The Legacy of Great Intention, which is the first Shining Force game. They left that Legacy of Great Intention part off until they ported it on Game Boy Advance, weirdly enough. And then there is Strider, as well as Sonic 2 for Sonic and Tails, Vampire Killer, which is Castlevania Bloodlines, Phantasy Star, and the Millennium, although they don't have the 4 in front of it the way the US did, as well as Puyo Puyo. Yeah, why do you use different names? That's, yeah, because we got that, because Bare Knuckle 2 is Streets of Rage 2. Aleste is Musha, which I mentioned when we did Streets of Rage, but also when we did Sonic 2, and I showed Musha on the Wii side. And Ristar is Shooting Star, the game we're going to play. Yeah, to answer your question of why they use different names, sometimes I guess it's a marketing thing, or as far as, like, how do they want to position a game in a certain area. Like, when we had the N64 side, you might have saw Lylat Wars. Or no, Lylat Wars. Yeah, that's the European name of Star Fox 64. In the case of that one, it was a licensing reason. There's something called Star Fox in Europe, as it was, and Nintendo didn't have the rights to use it, and they said, we're going to rename it for Europe. In fact, for the Super Nintendo version of Star Fox, which we're going to be doing in February, by the way, the European version was called Star Wing, but we knew it as Star Fox. Like they do with movies in the UK and the US. Yeah, I think so. I mean, and I think maybe also the perspective of that is like, hey, sometimes they're known as a different thing. Aleste, this is Musha, as I mentioned before. There's this long series of flight shooter games called Aleste in Japan. I think there's like Aleste 3 is on Game Gear, like the Robo Aleste. There's a ton of these. But for the US, they changed it because I think most people didn't know that franchise here. And they said, like, wait a minute, will people recognize this name? Or will they want to gravitate to this? So for the purpose maybe of marketing, or a movie like Rory O'Shea Was Here. Okay, that's a name I didn't expect to see going. Which, by the way, if there is, we'll elaborate in the first, and I'll go into that. Yeah, I know what Dolly Finn's talking about. There's a movie called Rory O'Shea Was Here, a terrific movie starring James McAvoy, back when nobody knew who he was, in 2005. It came out the year before in the UK. It was called Inside I'm Dancing, but for the US version, they changed the name and released it here. I don't know necessarily why. Maybe they thought, like, hey, they're not going to be able to market that with a name like that. If they're like, okay, in the case of that movie, if you've never seen it, which is a terrific movie, by the way, you get a case where that's the name of the character, or one of the characters in the movie, the main character that James McAvoy plays. And I think the thought is like, hey, let's put the name of the character in it to get people to go into it. Okay, so Dolly Finn, you're aware of what this is. All right, so that goes to the idea of me getting a perspective of, going to this old series of Musha, aka Aleste. Yeah, there is. I mean, we got a couple of these here, but a lot of them were in Japan as they were, and Musha was one of the ones we got, and there are a couple other ones I think we got as well, and there are a couple other ones that we didn't, but actually I think, I'm trying to think about this, I believe there was a collection of those on something that we got that wasn't aside from this one. But yeah, it is a big series as far as that for Japan, but for the US, we didn't know necessarily. So I guess feasibly when they released it, it was like, will a game like Aleste sell with a name like that? I don't know necessarily. Sometimes, like, maybe they think, like, well, no. Like for Streets of Rage, they called it Bare Knuckle in Japan. So I don't know, maybe they're thinking, well, let's position it differently for the US. Is it made by Compile, like Puyo Puyo? Yes, it is. Aleste or Musha, as we'll see as well on the US side of things, it is by Compile, who made Puyo Puyo. And that's the other difference, thank you for bringing that up, Alecverse, which is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. We played that for the show. A great time playing that game. When we played it, I mentioned this at the time, it was the US version, I think it was also feasibly for Europe, of Puyo Puyo, this game. They changed the graphics and they added Sonic the Hedgehog characters, specifically the characters from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog show for the US. For Japan, they had this. I guess for the US, they thought, well, hey, will these things go? They're still around now as Compile Heart. Yeah, I believe... I know there were the Puyo Puyo Tetris games that came out. Did Compile make those? I thought they did, or they might have been involved, but yeah, I think I remember seeing them around still. I'm trying to remember what they've done recently, aside from maybe those. But yeah, you're right. Aleste and Puyo Puyo are Sega's, or Compiles as they were developed. So yeah, it's interesting. You have a plane shooter and a puzzle game, but yeah, they did it. Oh, Sonic Team. Okay, no, Sonic Team did the Puyo Puyo Tetris games, 1 and 2. Okay, so, alright, so thank you for correcting me, because I don't have either one of those. I should probably get them at some point. And I played demo of the first one. I really liked it. But yeah, in that case, yeah, thank you for letting me know about that. Actually, speaking of Sonic Team, we're going to be playing this game for the US side of things, which is Ristar Superstar. Another case where they changed the name. They changed it just to Ristar in the US. And I'll go into some other changes that have been made as well. Sega owned the rights to Puyo Puyo. Okay. Well, which I guess makes sense, because like Sega published it. And I guess, although I guess Aleste, they didn't publish it. I believe that was Seismic Software published it for the US, although I guess Sega has the rights to this now, I think. I don't know. I mean, actually, we'll see on the US side, because, I mean, we're going to use the US version for this, but that's not to say that, we're not going to use the Japanese versions of any of these games ever. In fact, I did Dynamite Heady about it. Actually, one of the first streams I ever did. I don't have the recording of that. At some point, I want to do that again, but I don't think I'm going to do it before we do Gunstar Heroes. But when I do Dynamite Heady again, I'm going to show the Japanese version off, which I have in the Sega Genesis Mini unit, or on the Sega Genesis Mini unit. But with the Japanese side of things here, you can also have this. You can also hear the Sonic the Hedgehog sounds of deet deet, like this, and... Oh, no, I want to have that. And the shield there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home, we're going to look at the US side of things, which is mostly the same as far as the games that are here, and unlike what we were talking about with Paper Mario coming out next week, Nintendo and Sega have not announced if they're going to be adding new games to this yet. And also one other thing, I guess, to mention, and by the way, the reason you're hearing these Genesis sound effects for everything, because in the upper left-hand corner of the screen there, I do have the Sega Genesis controller that they released for this, but it's a 3-button controller. Yeah, just like with the Sega Genesis Mini, it was the 3-button controller, so games that use 6-button, that's going to be a weird case when they give us games that use it, although I believe, I'm trying to remember if there's a game in here that has a 6-button controller option. I thought there was one, but maybe not. But okay, so when they get that feasibly, it might not be easy to use with this thing, unless you use the Wii U Pro, or not the Wii U, the Switch Pro Controller, or the Joy-Cons as it might be. Although, feasibly you can use any controller you want with this, as long as it has buttons that will correlate. In fact, you know what, one thing I will show, you go home, each of these controllers, the Nintendo 64 and the Genesis one, they do not have an equivalent for the X button. So you're seeing that close software. Sometimes I'll play a game on Switch. I was like, hey, I'm playing this. I want to close this. You can't on either of these controllers. You have to either pull out your Joy-Cons or your Pro Controller and hit the X button on to close it, or just open something else. I've been doing the opening something else perspective as it's been. But just a quick thing to notice before we get to the game we're going to be playing, which is Ristar down there. But yeah, here is the US box art for everything, because we have Bloodlines, or Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, which you mentioned, Aleste. That was always called for Japan. For the US, it was Seismic Software published it, and it was Metallic Uniframe Super Hybrid Armor. That's how they named it. You check the Hyper Dimension Neptunia, Compile Heart developed those. I've heard of those. I've heard those are amazing. Those are flight games as well, I believe, correct? I remember hearing some great things about this, and there was that game, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. It wasn't Compile who made this. It's a series, yeah. Okay, I'll definitely look into that, because I remember hearing some great things about this. And there was this game that came out this past week on Switch. There's actually, I'm trying to remember what this was, what the name was. I'll put a name of it in the YouTube site thing for this. but it was basically a game that was developed for arcades back in the 90s. They never were able to finish it, and they're actually able to finish it finally and release it. And it came out this past week on Switch. I hear it's supposed to be great, as far as a great blast of the past that way. But yeah, okay, so yeah, there is Musha as well as Phantasy Star 4 and the Millennium, the explosive finale as it was before it went to Phantasy Star Online. Ristar, which you're going to play, Shining Force role-playing game. Yeah, they put on the box that it was a role-playing game, or strategy RPG as it was, I guess, so people would get a sense. And this is the other thing, I guess I'll go into this quickly before we start on Ristar. The early Genesis box art like this. We have the picture of the game that looks kind of similar to what it actually is representing, but it has a little bit of a artistic interpretation of itself, or artistic license, I guess, given. Because, like, yeah, that's the main character, is this guy in green. Kind of looks like Link a little bit. But yeah, he looks more manly, almost like, I don't know, like Fabio or something from the 80s. Oh, yes, fine. That's they're probably looking for Golden Axe right here. Yeah, that is what most of the characters look like, but they look a little different compared to when you actually get in the game. And there's Shinobi 3, as I mentioned, Sonic 2. I guess we'll see if we get the other Sonic games as well. I'm surprised they only give 2 at this point. Then Streets of Rage 2 and Strider. All right, let's, you mean Max? Yeah, you're right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to remember which one that was as far as that. Okay. All right, with all that preamble, I just want to give a sense of what the Switch Online plus expansion pack is looking like. This is what you're getting for your $50. I mean, I've mentioned before, I'll say my piece this way before we start, which is that I think it's worth it if you don't have the games in this, and also Musha costs a lot of money on its own, so if you want to play it, this is a cheaper way to do it, although people mentioned this to me, you don't technically own this because you have to have the online going, and it's like $50 a year, so feasibly at that point, after about 8 years, I think, you'd feasibly be paying enough money to own this game already. So you could just go on eBay and pay $400 for this thing now and get it over with if you really want to do that, or if you have the money to do that. But if you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to go that way, or I'm not sure completely, this might be a good option for you as far as it, although, as I mentioned, I understand why people are saying it costs a lot of money. I was like, it's a tough thing for me to say, like, yeah, I'm holding it mostly on the fact this game goes for like 8 times the price of this entire thing, but then again, you also go to the sense of, like, how are these games being handled? The Genesis side is great. The Super Nintendo side is great too, as well as NES. Nintendo 64, they got a lot of work to do, and hopefully they'll do it because people have been really mad about that as it's been. So they go, and also I guess the other question of, like, hey, people saying I want to actually have ownership of this. In fact, one game I'm not showing here because this is actually something that got a re-release on the Switch as a download. As a game I mentioned when we did Sonic 2, Glay Lancer. I mentioned that. I said this is this fight game that came out kind of similar to Musha that I had on Virtual Console for Wii, which is no longer available that way. It's on there now for $7. So given how expensive that game goes, you actually can have ownership of that. And actually, feasibly, everything that's in this, also to go into this, I guess, as well, everything that's on this except for Echo the Dolphin and Musha is available somewhere on Switch as it is, because these two are in the Castlevania Contra collections, and the rest are in the Sega Genesis Classics collection, although that Sega Genesis Classics collection has button input lag to it as well. So in that case, you're going to not have that problem playing any of these games. And also for that, let me see. Yeah, Echo the Dolphin is not in that collection. Musha's not in that collection. And Strider isn't. Though Strider is available on Switch. The arcade version is within the Capcom Arcade Stadium. So you do have a way to play it, but it's like the Genesis version, this is where you're getting it. But the two new ones here are Echo the Dolphin and Musha. Hopefully this. Echo is Johnny's Nightmare. Yes, the Some Call Me Johnny show. I was showing people this game, though, the other day. So, like, how hard this game is and how weird and strange it could be, but also could be really difficult, or, like, when he gets to the final thing. I'll put a link to this. Talking about the Subject Call Me Johnny channel, by the way. And thank you for mentioning that, like, first, because I think that's one of those cases where I don't think you can talk about Echo the Dolphin without mentioning that. Him saying, like, he got to the end of the game, how insanely hard it gets. At the end, when he dies, he says, like, eventually he's had enough, and he says, "No more! Echo saved his family, died saving his family, a true dolphin hero. Get the shit out of my Genesis." I was like, alright, say, he was not liking that game, and I understand that, but there's some interesting things that, at some point, we could do Echo the Dolphin if you want. In fact, I have most of the games in the series, except for Echo Jr. from Genesis, and I do also have Echo the Dolphin Defender of the Future on Dreamcast, which is insanely hard, insanely cryptic. I'll basically print out a walkthrough on that, because that game is so insanely hard, and this one is a little, but not as much. And some we can do some of these things, and anything you want to see here that we haven't covered yet, we can do. And I mentioned Gunstar Heroes is one we're going to be doing. Absolutely, I will do that. I know, like Frisch, you mentioned you want to see Contra Hardcore. We can do that for sure. We did Beam Machine as it was. We did Bloodlines once. I could feasibly rationalize that again with playing as the second character. We did Shinobi 3 already. Sonic 2 I have to redo again, but we'll do that when the Sonic Origins collection comes out. Sweet Rage 2 we'll do next year sometime. And yeah, the ones I know off where we're going to be going with that's where we're at. But alright, well, after about a half an hour of me, I guess, going into... Okay, this is not me going off topic, really, because I'm saying, hey, let me explain to you the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. I think... I get the sense, the chat, you like going into this kind of stuff with me, and I appreciate that very much. I appreciate your viewership every week. I can't tell you how much that means to me. That's for coming to the end of this year, and I am looking forward to taking out 2021 with a bang and getting 2022 started right with all the games we're going to have going into January and going into the rest of the year, and anything you want to see we will get to. And I will dedicate at least one game each month to something that's on the master list of what have been requested. And actually, first I'll go into this. You mentioned you wanted to see Final Fight 2. We're going to do Final Fight 2 for Super Nintendo next month as that game. But yeah, we'll get into that a little more. Hell yeah. Alright, so you're looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to playing the game that I really wanted to show. I mean, as I mentioned, when I started the show, it was more about an idea of, like, I'm not seeing a lot of people as much as I was at the time. I mean, that's changed now, but still, the idea of, I want to, get my perspective of gaming out as I was having fun with my friends and family, and also, I guess, have an outlet for all the stuff, because I've got a lot to say as far as gaming, and I appreciate that you're willing to listen to it, and willing to contribute to it, I guess, or that you like that it is, and you're not running away. So I want to thank you for that, for sure. And one of the things I always wanted to do is showcase games that I have a connection with, or ones that I don't get much representation. As I mentioned, chat, you have games you've mentioned to that, and we've done that with games you've mentioned. I thank you very much for those games and the suggestions we made happen. Here's one of them, and this is one that I am just as guilty as everybody else for shunning to a certain extent. We'll take a look at the details. Yeah, this is Ristar. This came out in 1995 for the Sega Genesis. There's also a Game Gear version that's got some unique stuff to it. It's got a unique boss, or a unique world or two, because it's kind of a scaled-down version, but there's different things they went. But yeah, this came out from Sonic Team. This was developed by them in 1995 for the Sega Genesis as a late release for the system, and I'll tell you, I remember growing up when this game was around. I had Genesis to start, and I got Super Nintendo later. I saw this in the Blockbuster video store around me at the time, and I said, I'm curious maybe of taking this. I remember picking it up from the shelf, saying, oh, I'm going to rent this, and then after like a couple minutes, I said, maybe I'll rent something else. I regret that decision so much, and I regretted that when I played this in the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which has this, and actually there are a lot of collections that have this, and that's good because this game costs quite a bit on the Genesis itself. But yeah, it is on the Nintendo Switch, it is on the PS4 and the Xbox One in the Sega Genesis Classics Collection, it's on the 360 and the PS3 in Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, it's on the PS2 in the Sega Genesis Collection, and it's in all three of those Sonic Mega Collections on the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, and PC. Yeah, here's the Switch take, and this is one of the best ports of it I've ever seen, and let's get it started. As I said, I think this is going to be the penance for the rest of my life, pretty much, telling people why this game is awesome, and why, if you haven't played it, it's totally worth your time. And as I said, I'm not one of those people standing on the high, standing on the mountainside or mountaintop telling, what's going on with this, and like, hey, I'm better than you because I played this and you didn't. No, I'm more guilty probably than everybody else because I said I was going to take it, and I didn't. How come there was a sequel? It's not a bad game. Yeah, good question. I mean, there's the Game Gear version, which is not really a sequel so much as it's kind of a reinterpretation. By the way, the story of this is that Final Flashing Light, by the way, sorry, I want to warn that. Yeah, the idea of this game is that it was something different Sonic Team was making. There were references to this in the Sonic and All-Stars racing games. He was the flagman in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformer we played earlier this year. I said back then, we're gonna get to your game in December, and here we are. I think probably because people didn't play this. And it was a weird case, because this came out near the end of the Genesis' life. But it was also something that... Let's be honest here, I'll let the demo play as I give this piece to it. As we enjoy this wonderful music, by the way, from Miss... Tomoko Sasaki, who did the music for World Illusion as well, for the Sega Genesis, as well as all of the Nights games. And fitting because we're doing Christmas Nights in 3 weeks, the Saturn version specifically. But yeah, I'll get into this quickly. It's cute. Yes, it's very cute. And by the way, that is Eriko Hanada, who voices Ristar. Ristar does have a voice in this game, a little bit. It is very cute, and there's definitely a lot of Sonic to this, as you'll see in the demo, what's going on as you go along. And I'll get into the gameplay stuff as we go, but to answer Lecter's question, this game did not sell very well, from what I understand. I don't know if it sold horribly, but let's talk what Sega was doing in 1995. As I mentioned earlier, and hey, this was pertinent to what I was talking about earlier. I said, quote, the Super Nintendo defeated the Sega Genesis, and the reason for that was because Sega took the lead in the 16-bit era early on, and then Nintendo had more stuff they were bringing out later. But then what happened with Sega is they went on to add on, an add-on fetish for the Sega Genesis with the Sega CD and the 32X, and then the Sega Saturn came out, and they had like 4 consoles technically going concurrently at period there. And then what happened was, like, when most of those failed, which the 32X and the Sega CD went under, the Saturn wasn't doing very well when the PlayStation came around. I think Sega said, we're crawling back to the Sega Genesis. We're going to do what Nintendo's doing with stuff like Vector Man, and also with the CG graphics of that game and its sequel. And also Comic Zone that came out the same year, and the Ooze, certainly, to a certain extent, as far as, like, the big Nintendo, or big Sega releases of 1995. And there was this one, too. And also, I'll tell you, if you want to know why I don't like Vector Man or Comic Zone that much, and to a certain extent the Ooze compared to this, it's because of this game. This game is amazing. This game has the quality, it has the polish, it has the soul that those other games are lacking, with the exception of the Ooze. And honestly, with Vector Man kind of found its soul with the second game, which is why I like it more. But yeah, those seem like a case of, like, yeah, Sega's trying to play catch-up. They're trying to fix themselves after what happened, but Ristar, I don't get that sense. And it is a great game. It's a fantastic game. I mean, it's not a bad game. I think that's an understatement, my friend. This game is fantastic. This is one of the best platformers on this system that people don't talk about, and that's why I'm here to play it. By the way, well, let's go into the options. There is normal and hard. The difference is that on hard, you get half of your health to start, you get fewer treasure chests, and you have only 3 continues to 5. Playing on normal, controls of jump and grab. It's only 2 buttons. I hate Comic Zone. Okay, am I going to assume it's because of the difficulty? And we can do Comic Zone eventually just because of, I think that might be something to reckon with because of it. It's a game that looks terrific for sure, and it sounds great, but something that, my god, is it hard. And that's something that, when I first played it, I was like you, I really didn't like it. I kind of appreciate it more, but it's also one of those also with the 6-button case, and I compare it to Streets of Rage. I'm wondering if it's the difficulty, because with Comic Zone, it's 1 life and no continues until you get to certain chapters, and then you can continue once. I mean, there's a lot to respect and admire of what that game is doing technologically speaking, but as far as fun and, polish and, soul, yeah, it doesn't touch this. Even when you hit the start button, you hear the soul right now. Yeah, you have, Ristar saying, play with me? Yeah, we are going to play with him, on Planet Flora. So yeah, the plot of this game, by the way, is that, the evil Greedy has taken over the, Valdi system, and we gotta save him with the resurrection, or the reincarnation of the son god, of Star God. Yeah, we're going around, all you do is run, jump, or move and jump with the A or C button, and hit the B button to grab with your arms. This is the main combat mechanic of this game, and man, they come with a lot of great uses for it. The combat feels clunky when you take damage when punching stuff. Oh yeah, for Comic Zone, yeah, I forgot about that, right. There's mandatory damage in that game when you hit, like, boxes that you need to hit to progress. You take damage in health, and though never kills you, is the kind of thing it gets, you get a sense of, like, wait a second, why did they design it this way? And it is really insanely hard. But alright, yeah, make that jump specifically to avoid getting that, because your star's over there. That's your health. And one thing they did change also with this game, just to go to the Japanese version, is they changed some of the animations. He looks a little more angry when he's at a standstill. He looks much happier in the US. Alright, I don't want to make this jump, though, because I want to go over here and hit the chest. Hit that, just grab into it. That's what you're doing. You're grabbing everything. You're grabbing the walls, you're grabbing the enemies, hitting pressure points in the walls, you hit them, you get items off it. That's star, it gives me recovery, my health. And you use this to grab along, and hearing this wonderful music and see these absolute color explosion. I mean, I mentioned the 32X. The 32X is all about showing the colors of what the system had, and we certainly showed that with Knuckles Chaotix this year, which is a great looking game, but yeah, this showed that, yeah, the Genesis is capable of doing this too, and my god, is it gorgeous. Yeah, the other thing you do is with this grab, and god, I love the mechanic of this so much, because what you can do is, it's for attacking and for climbing walls. You just hang on to birds like this, swing along with it. I'm moving left and right on the D-pad to do that, and launch into it like that. Or put your hands in the hole to get a life. And you hear that great, which is emulated perfectly in this version compared to some of the other ones. Yeah, just going through this nice forest wonderland with all the colors, my god. Even just the idea of you grabbing onto the floating, I guess, flower petals, not flower petals, they're like, the things that come off of, like, dandelions and things. Just swinging up and going, and it is so much fun. And we've talked difficulty curve before on this program. This has such a wonderful difficulty curve. My god, it is terrific. Because this is very easy. It gets you understanding how the game is working, and then it builds up to something much harder. I'm going to see a lot of deaths later because of that reason. But you also kind of play it your way to a certain degree because, like, hey, I can climb walls this way. I grab onto these poles here and swing. I can shoot my arms in any direction when I'm in the air, or in every direction that's not down when I'm not. I just use that just to kind of fly around or grab around like this. Just doing all these fancy footwork stunt things without ever breaking a sweat. When you get it down, or also grabbing the star handle. Grab this with the B button and hold right on the D-pad to go star like that. When you see that, let go when it's at the right angle, and you are going to be doing the meteor strike. You can aim it with the D-pad as you go along, and anything you hit will die when you touch it, and you'll be totally invincible doing that. But you also can use that to get to higher area, and I'm going to do that because I do want to go to one of the... bonus stages. Because even though I start with 5 continues, I want to make sure I can get up there. Alright, I'm not... Yeah, see, I did practice this game, this entire game, because this game gets really hard later. But I want to make sure they can do it. Yeah, the key with the star handle, just to give an idea, is that you sometimes want to wait till he's angled himself diagonally. Alright, there it is. But yeah, just grab it, and you swing off. Yeah, talking about the clunky thing of, Comic Zone. Yeah, no clunkiness to this game. Alright, so you gotta get the treasure in a minute. Go! I do love that stuff for this. Alright. Oh, yeah, but I'm not doing it right. Yeah, I have to get up there quickly to get a continue. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Okay, that was it. Alright. Alright, congratulations. Alright, yeah, if you get it in under 12 seconds, you get a continue. I did not, though. But there'll be more opportunities to do that because there is a hidden one of those on every level. Except boss stages. Whoa, my head's spinning! Oh, yeah, we're gonna get into that next week with Sonic Heroes. I cannot wait to do that. Or feasibly also, that was Sonic 06's case. But yeah, in this case, we are fighting the armored snake. Or the armored tree snake. In this case, just pretty much use the B button to swing around on all the vines, and it's amazing. Yeah, you go. The head spinning thing, you're right. And fitting because, as I said, I didn't realize this until last week. We were touching Sonic Team every week this month except for Kingdom Hearts. So, hey, how fitting... A fitting way to celebrate the end of Sonic's 30th anniversary with the other games that aren't Sonic, and the one we've mentioned multiple times you have as well. Like, first, I appreciate that. I can't wait to be doing Sonic Heroes for you next week. Alright. And that's when climbing the wall, you can sometimes find the items within it. Yeah, he's spinning what... Yeah, that's the key with Ristar. He can handle that. Alright. Oh, yeah, one thing I do want to do is... This is the final star handle of the level. When you get here, if you go high enough out the exit that way... You get height points. I didn't do it that well, so I only got 1,000. And just like Sonic the Hedgehog, you have a second act for each world, and then a boss act. So kind of doing what Sonic Advance 2 would end up doing, and hold that thought, because we're going to have Sonic Advance 2 parallels pretty clear for this game, even though that was not... Okay, it was sort of Sonic Team. It was Dimps. I think there was some involvement with Sonic Team for a little bit. Yeah, we're in the second area of this area with Planet Flora, and like with Sonic the Hedgehog as well, or Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles, you have a redone version of the Act 1 music as it is with a different beat. So now it sounds a lot more peaceful as you're going through the Dark Forest. The colors are quite bright. Yes, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying with the, this is what I'm saying why I think this game is so impressive. Especially for when it came out. As I said, this was 1995. This was about 6 years after the Sega Genesis came out. Almost electric. Yeah, and that's true. For sure. We're going to see the electricity perspective going with some of this stuff. But you think about 6 years into this system's life where it did not have... Here's the thing about the Sega Genesis. There's only capability of 64 colors on the screen at once. Look in this game, you would never think that. You look at this and say, my god, this is absolutely gorgeous. This is something that they did a terrific job with the colors and really showcasing it so it does stand out in the crowd. And Dim Souls developed Dragon Ball Z Budokai. That is correct, First, I do remember when I saw that. In fact, that was an interesting case when that came out. I said, oh, these are the same people who made Sonic Advance. And I also mentioned, we did Shadow the Hedgehog. There was the Inuyasha Feudal Fairy Tale game on PlayStation. They also made that as well. Yeah, you want to use the star handle to do the meteor strike here to get the life that is in box. Alright, got it. Yeah, Dimps definitely did a lot of interesting stuff with that, and I guess the anime perspective as it was as well. Yeah, by the way, hit on that enough, and the log comes down. You can either go across it, or you can go under it. In fact, you know, I'll show going under it on top of that. Yeah, because like Sonic the Hedgehog, you can go in different directions and find hidden goodies by doing that. Yeah, some way we should do some more Dimp stuff, and I guess also do some of the Sonic Advance games, because I have all 3 of them. And I do have that Inuyasha Feudal Fairy Tale game, so we can definitely do those at some point as well. Actually, give me a good opportunity to to dig out that Inuyasha game as it is, which is the only one I have, and, well, I mean, I heard a really good one's on the DS, but I don't have a way to stream DS, and then there was also the, there's the Feudal Combat that was on the PS2 that was, by the people who made Bloody Roar, Ating, I believe. Or Ating, as it is. Alright, yeah, this is the other thing. Using the hang there, the grab, you can grab on them and hit them diagonally and go to the hidden area, which is where the, star handle for bonus stage is. Whoa! Alright, yeah, I'm missing. That's my fault, though. Actually, I'll tell you also to go back to the thing with the music, which is amazing, by the way, if I haven't made that clear enough. I actually just found out today that, that the person who did the music, Tomoko Sasaki, who did it, I just found out today that she did the score for, World of Illusion, which is a game I adore, as I've mentioned on the show before. But I really, now listening to it again, playing this, I'm realizing, okay, I can kind of see that, just because of how magical this feels. And how beautiful. Alright, there you go, perfect. Got it, continue. Alright, perfect, I did it in 10 seconds. Isn't Bloody Roar developed by Hudson? I think there's some that were, but I know that there were a couple that were developed by Ating. The number 8 and then ING. But I know Hudson published, or maybe it was like a combination of that. I think it was like, maybe a mix of those two. I'm going down here, by the way, because there's also an item up here. I think so. If that's not right, I'll put it edited in the YouTube site. I know there was one that Ating did do. I believe they did, I thought Ating did Bloody Roar Primal Fury on GameCube, which was also on Xbox as Bloody Roar Extreme. It might have been Hudson did the ones on PlayStation, or the first, 2, 3. Okay, no, there's 1, 2 on PlayStation, there was 3 on PS2. There was, the Primal Fury, which was on GameCube and Xbox. That was an enhanced version of, 3. And then there was 4, which was on PS2 as well. I'll look back at what that was. Alright, by the way, here's the deal here. We have that guy back there. That's Riho. We're gonna see him in a little bit. He's turning the lights off, so you have to hit the trees to knock the lights back on. And I love that touch as well. Like, there he is back there. He's throwing stuff at the screen, and now the chameleon's coming out. Hurt me there unless I grab him. The people who made Tetsudoku vs. Capcom and Kirby's Epic Yarn. Good feel? Really? I didn't know they made Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I remember, I think I was mentioning that to somebody at some point, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I said, I want to get a copy of that at some point. Okay, I'm going backwards. Let me try going forwards right that way. I'm gonna have to look at that. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Alright, perfect. Oh, fine. Oh, sort of perfect. Also, I think there's some aliasing in the background, but I believe that might have been the Genesis version as well. Yeah, third level is gonna be a boss. We have Riho, who is the boss here. We saw him in the background, and now he is. Or Ating. Oh, they made Kirby's Epic Yarn as well? I mean, I know it's Goodfield developed Kirby's Epic Yarn. Or maybe there's a connection with them in Ating. And, actually, you know, you're right on Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. You're right about that, which is on the Wii, by the way. At some point, I do need to get a copy of that. Because I did have a lot of fun playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 last week, and we'll do the first one eventually on the Dreamcast, which I do own. Alright, here's the Village Elder. But, yeah, Riho's grabbed onto him, and I guess he's mind-controlling him, so yeah, you gotta hit him, the Elder 3 times and knock him to the ground. That'll be out of reach unless you jump very specifically. If you grab him right at the height of your jump, you can hit him there and knock him down, and then avoid the stars there. Just do that 3 times, you win. Yeah, this is the speedrun strategy, if I can get the grab. But yeah, you have to be dead on perfect, or wait till he comes down and then hit him. Oh, boom, there he goes. Alright, so Riho's gone, and we're set. And then you get the animation of him, which I believe changes based on something. I don't know what that is, because sometimes I've done this, and I'll sometimes see him do certain things. He'll look really happy, or he'll, like, do the thumbs up thing there. One thing I am going to do before anything, I mentioned how great this music is. I'm going to mute the mic so you can hear the stage clear music, because this is some of the most beautiful music you'll ever hear in 16-bit gaming. This is only going to be a little under a minute. So yeah, I'm going to grab this, and I'll be right back. Have a listen to this. It is just beautiful. It is enough to bring a tear to your eye. I'm not kidding. It is so lovely. Alright, but we are done with Planet Flora. We are Planet Undertow. The water world, as it is. Yeah, what you gotta do, hit the wall here and get the water to rise. Unlike Sonic, though, Ristar doesn't drown. I guess is the idea, the benefit of being, you know, the god of the stars, the son of the god of the stars. But yeah, you're just going underwater and swimming. And talk about the graphical effects here. We're talking about the thing with the colors, but yeah, as you go deeper in the water, it's getting dark. I love that. Oh my god, it is just beautiful. It's beautiful as far as a technical perspective, but it's also something that's so artistic and wonderful. And yeah, as I said, that's the other thing, the reason I love this game, is just because of just the style of it and all these little touches it has. All the music and all that other stuff. Alright, here is the hidden handle. Right at the top, and there's the treasure. All you gotta do is swim down towards it. Looks like dry desert from Sonic. Yeah, a little bit. I can definitely get that perspective. Alright, yeah, hit that to get the clam out there and just go around the other way and grab it. Yeah, and you're pretty much guaranteed to continue every time you do that. Yeah, that is, oh, I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'm trying to think what's the Sonic game with dry desert in it. Remind me. Is it one of the, I don't know, it's not one of the, one of the advanced games, is it? Remind me, I'm trying to remember that. I know there's the one in Sonic 06, I don't think it's that one. And I know with Sonic Heroes, we don't have a desert area. Oh, crap. Yeah, sometimes the enemies can come out from the background, which honestly isn't cheap so much. You just have to be careful about what's going on, but also notice details in the background, like the, I guess the ancient city as it is. There's also chat, let me know any experience you have with Ristar as a game, or this game anyway, if you've played it, and what you think of it. Whoa! Yeah, also be careful of them, because they throw, things at you. I don't know what that is. Looks like, I don't know, not lettuce, something else. Oh, Sonic Mania. Oh, Mirage Saloon. Thank you. Oh, or maybe Dry Desert's the name of the track and the music and the soundtrack, perhaps. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe they did have that on their mind. I mean, I wouldn't also put that past the people who made Sonic Mania as it was to say, hey, we're gonna take a look at some of these other Sega games and maybe Sonic Team games. Okay, fine, they did look at other Sega games for Sonic Mania because their reference is pretty clear to Shinobi and other Sega franchises and Daytona USA in that one as well. Yeah, Mirage Saloon was that level. At some point we should do Sonic Mania for sure, and I will definitely figure out when to do it. We're not, as I said, for the Super Sonic Game Saturday thing, we've gone the whole year without doing Sonic Mania, but that doesn't mean, no, we're not coming back to Sonic, and that's one I definitely want to do. It's been too long since I played it. See, it's funny, I sort of played it recently, but it's also the kind of thing that it feels maybe longer since I played it than I actually has been. And it's been something that I feel like, yeah, I kind of want to play more of it, and I want to see what's going to happen with Sonic for the new one, if we're going to get another 2D game like that, on top of Sonic Frontiers, which is, I guess, the name of the 3D one that's coming out next year, feasibly, but we'll see. At some point, we'll definitely do Sonic Mania. I have the Plus version for Xbox One, and that's the one we will play. Because that's all the DLC. And I guess for that one, I was mentioning with Yoshi's Story how I'm going to handle that as far as this. I guess with Sonic Mania, I kind of want to make sure I'm doing the Encore mode on top of the normal mode. So I don't know if I should be doing that in one show or split it up. I'll think about how I'm going to handle that. But so, I mean, Sonic Mania at least will be 2 parts, if not one large enough one. I mean, I might be able to do it all in one night, but we'll see. Alright, yeah, here's the sort of mini-boss here. It's not really a mini-boss. Basically, what you're doing is you're waiting for the water to come back, and then just avoiding the shots of the enemies that come down. Especially when they have lots of those. Yeah, I was not successful. And then when the wave comes down, just defeat the enemies and hit the ground. Enjoy the music again, which is beautiful. And the atmosphere, as has been mentioned. Yeah, I don't believe they will shock you as far as the water, but yeah, they, I guess they go, non-electric when you come out that way. Alright, and there we go. That way at the end. Okay, yeah, okay, that's the other thing I may as well show up. If you hold the opposite direction of where you're going, you spin slow. And if you just let go of B, you'll just kind of launch yourself. You have to wait till you hit stars or have stars going around you like that. And then let go. And I'll try this. 1, 2, 3, go. Sometimes the easier way is just to kind of count it. Alright, but I'm doing not well on this 1,000. But it's optional. And I guess part of the other reason to do that is for the purpose of getting points. Because you hear that when we were doing the, when I was quiet on the stage clear. That was me getting life. Because points will get you lives in this game. So you're all set. And you have this beautiful music for, Act 2 of, Planet Undertow. This kind of light thing. It kind of starts light with this kind of jazzy sound and get the bass going. And it is beautiful. As I go up here, because there is a gem. Which will give you points, by the way. just love this. It's so beautiful. And yeah, you know what? Like, first I'll go back to what you're saying. Why is there a sequel? Well, okay, as I said, sales-wise maybe, but still, I think they're great ideas. I'd love to see if maybe Sega would, you know, take another shot at this, because we've gotten, you know, we got the remake of Alex Kidd, which, I mean, Alex Kidd, I guess, was successful for them on the Sega Master System, but that's been dormant a while. I think maybe do like with Streets of Rage 4, or like with the remakes of the Panzer Dragoon games and House of the Dead. Give it to another company. Say, like, hey, give another take on this. I bet they could come up with something great with another one of these. Actually, here's the other thing I guess I'll also say with this, for this game specific, and I'll say this was my first time, let me explain my first experience playing this. I explained my first experience not playing it, saying like, oh, I passed it by. By the way, also, when you're down here, you hit those enemy-making things, and you defeat them to get rid of the enemies. And in this case, you have a puzzle. You bust the box that's the correct one, and you don't have an enemy in it, and the one on the left will be alive. But I'm not getting good luck. Alright, there you go. Yeah, I think there's level life in it. Yes. Okay, no, it won't. I think you have to get at least the second or third chest. Yeah, my first experience playing this was with Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the Xbox, where the unlock process for this is a pain in the ass, because you have to go through and play... You have to open every game in the collection about 30 times, and you have to pretty much keep count on your own. I did that basically by taking my Game Boy collection, tossing on the bed, so like, okay, that's one, and I think I got up to like 20 or 30, so let me collect them again to, you know, keep the count on that. And I said, man, this is annoying as hell. Like, this game better be brilliant after all I'm doing. And then I played it, I said, oh, yes, it is. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm being very reckless here, by the way. If I lose that, if I get hit again, I'm gonna die, so I want to be careful on that. I mean, we'll see deaths on this game, but hopefully not yet. Alright, there is the, Nautilus there. Yeah, when you hit him, he shoots out the spiky stars. Just stay out of the way, and then hit him again. You have to hit him 3 times. Alright, and one of them is health, thank God. You get to enjoy the atmosphere of swimming under the water and the music. Alright, by the way, the other thing I just did was I was going through this really quickly. Hit this, so you don't get blown back. By the way, I will show that. And by the way, when you're under the water, you hit the C button to swim faster, and you can also grab on the hooks to hold on for the wind gust, or the air gust. Yeah, it can push you back in that and get yourself hurt. Also, one other thing is when you do not move at all, Ristar will naturally go up to the surface, which is a beautiful touch. Alright, now we're in this area as well. You have to kill the enemies there on the walls, so you want to hit them as you go along, or just do this. Climb the wall, say like, oh, I'm going to do that, hit back to the wall again, just climb. Yeah, you can really make this game look fancy if you want to. Well, in this case, I have to go up there because I have to hit this thing and kill them. Because you have to kill all the ones in the area, and the door opens. Alright. And that's the other thing I love about this game, which is that you're just using 3 buttons. The D-pad, the jump button, and the grab button, and you can do so much with it. Or it's like when we did Kirby Crystal Shards. Same case as that game. Whoa. Yeah, there are 2 of these, because there's that one there that's shooting the enemies out. Okay, I'm dead. By the way, what happens is you get knocked out by the star and you die. But you do have checkpoints as you go along, so you'll be okay. Yeah, in fact, there's a checkpoint right there. Perfect. It's not going to be always right where you died, but it usually is pretty close if you've gone through the level enough. Yeah, get used to seeing that, though, by the way, because the rest of this game can be really hard, but I'm being very reckless. I guess, as I am with Sonic, as it is, but hey, Sonic Team made this. Although, unlike Sonic, you don't have a time limit, and you also can feasibly explore a little more to your leisure. Alright, perfect. Yeah, in that case, you have to hit the right box, and otherwise an enemy comes out. Hey, at least I'm glad to be able to show that off. And you know what, I'll show this off. Yeah, if you don't... Yeah, the wind, or it's blowing the air, and eventually, yeah, it'll blow me back. And you see the rotation effect, which I've mentioned this probably 1,000 times in the show, that the Sega Genesis didn't have the capability of rotational effects built into the hardware, but developers figured out how to do it. Yeah, Sonic Team figured out how to do it, and it looks terrific. As we mentioned with Sonic, I mentioned earlier with Sonic Advance 2, there are going to be some pretty direct callbacks, that game made to this one. And we'll see that about 2 worlds from now. As we keep going through the water, and I love just the atmosphere of this, and just experience playing this game so far. Hopefully you're enjoying as well. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm being a little reckless there too, because of the frogs. Yeah, they come out of the enemy thing. Actually, it's almost a gauntlet a little bit. Yeah, hit that, and they're gone. But there is an item here. So yeah, anytime you see a wall, you usually want to climb it. When you can climb it, because there are parts where you can't. Alright. Jump on the bubbles. They will disappear after a while, which is why I'm jumping off them pretty quickly. And there is the hidden handle. I will show off as many of these bonus stages as I can, but I don't know if I'm gonna find all of them. Alright, now it's one, get the treasure. Alright, let's see what I can do. Oh, perfect. Okay, I did that way better than I did the test play. Oh, I threw it away. Like, I didn't want it. Okay. I didn't know I could do that. I was just hitting B so rapidly. I was like, yeah, Ristar saying, like, yeah, I don't want this thing. So, yeah, who knew Ristar was so picky about the treasure? Alright, but there you go. Oh, okay, I went down. By the way, if you hit down at a low altitude, you get nothing as far as height bonus. But, alright, at least I got to show that. Alright, now we're going to the boss. This is OSAT. And we're under the water as it is. We're feeling some rumbling going on, or seeing rumbling going on. Wonder what that's about. Or the attention to detail. You all saw it. Yeah, the cage in the background is shaking. You're hearing the growl. Oh, but something's escaped. Okay, that has. Yeah, that is OSAT. He is a Hammerhead Shark. What we're going to do is watch him in the background, see what goes that direction, and then get ready to grab him when he comes here. And he'll hit one of those, I guess, drain plugs, and the water will go down a little bit. The other thing is he'll hit in the wall, so yeah, you can look in the background to keep an eye on where he is, and he'll drop rocks. But he also has a school of assistants, so yeah, hit them and don't get hit. Pretty much just wait for him to do that dash and be in the right area. It's not too hard, but you just have to keep an eye on him in the background. Yeah, and there's water, or being able to jump out of the water if you want to. He'll also do that stop every so often when he comes out, but sometimes he doesn't do that. I think it's random. I just need to do one more hit on him. Yeah, every second hit, or yeah, every second hit he'll do that. Oh, yeah, but sometimes, yeah, he can shoot past that way. Alright, come on. Actually, it's kind of easiest when he's low that way, because then he'll just come by there. Alright, he is, beached. Okay, he doesn't hurt you. Yeah, you just hit him there. And he is done. Alright, so I get the thumbs up. Actually, I think... I don't know. I'll look into this and I'll put a correction if this is not right. I think that animation is based on how well you do if you don't get hit a lot. But alright, we'll see how that goes. Alright, we'll hit the handle and go off and hear the wonderful stage clear music again. Well, I'm not muting the mic on this one because I already let you hear how good it is. Alright, so there we are with Planet Undertow completed. There are 7 worlds, by the way. So you get the round clip bonus, your treasure bonus for opening chests, technical bonus, which is how many times you get hit. You get hit fewer times, you will be okay. You get a high bonus, otherwise not. And then the secret bonus, which is if you find the pressure points in the walls like I am. Come on. I do love that. You're mentioning how cute it is. It is cute, but it's also weirdly beautiful. And some people say like, hey, you know, how weirdly beautiful or how, you know, artistic can a Genesis game from 1995 be? Yeah, a lot. And that's why I say, I mean, look, here's the thing. Well, we go back to what chat was saying with Comic Zone. And, oh yeah, by the way, this play score, this is the fire world. You can burn, and the animation changes. In fact, I'll show that. First thing you do is also hit that switch to burn them. I'm going to sit down here and wait. Yeah, he's getting tired, and he's getting very hot. If you know what, I think you have to hit this. Because it will actually change the animation on the level based on where you are. Or maybe in the second section. But yeah, as I said, I'm not coming on this just to dump on Vector Man or Comic Zone or the Ooze or the other games of Segas that were out at the time. I'm saying this outdoes every one of them. This is the mix of artistry and gameplay done to absolute perfection. By the way, that is a fake Ristar statue. What you want to do with this is pick it up and pay attention where that jut in the ground was. Yeah, like right there. It drops the cage on there. And yeah, there's a fire there because there's an enemy over there that's moving back and forth to hit the switch. Yeah, like that. Because that's how that's happened. It's like, hey, is that random? No, the enemies can do it as well. And you will also hear some of the Sonic the Hedgehog sound effects, because as I said, it was by the people who made Sonic the Hedgehog. Here's great music. It's so good. And it gives every level its own identity. Alright, let me grab him. Alright, yeah, you can grab the eagle. And that's one way to handle that, because there is fire down there, or you can feasibly avoid it. Okay, or get hit. Alright, yeah, that's the idea. Is you're sort of you jump down here, and then jump there, grab the wall, and avoid it. Alright, there's another one of those, but also here's the other thing. Yeah, there's fire coming up, so grab on the handle. The thing is, yeah, the way he moves on the handles is very specific, so you can get into trouble in some ways if you don't do it right. Or, yeah, just hang there. You sometimes just want to move a little bit, because, yeah, if I move to the right, yeah, he'll fall off. Yeah, you have to also throw the statue there very specifically to get the cage to drop. And then just wait and drop. And the fire will recede. Alright, there we go. There's also the blue star, which is good to have because that is a full health recovery. And there is another handle. I believe the hidden handle's up there to either the left or right. But I'm going to try and go to the left to start. Because I think there's an item on the walk over here. Alright, there's the... Okay, yeah, there's that, but there's not fire for me to avoid doing that, so just jump over him. Okay, I think it's to the right. Alright. Oh. Oh. Alright, okay, yeah, there you go. But I do love that touch where, yeah, when you're getting hit by the fire like that, you will get yourself hurt. I'm going to try and get him to... Okay, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, see, now I'm near the fire. He's actually going to fan himself. And if you think that's just for show... Okay, it looks awesome as far as what they're doing with the animation, the way Sonic does. How does fire hurt him? Because he's a star. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, good point. Because, yeah, he's a supernova. He should be able to handle that stuff. I mean, okay. I guess I'll... Well, fine. Oh, right, I forgot about this. You can also be grabbed by the eagle, and he'll drop you down. Oh, just drop you into the fire. Okay. Alright. To answer that question, I guess because he's the reincarnated son of the star god, but you're right. If a star is a supernova and it's insanely hot, yeah, he should live. You know what? I love this game so much. I'm not going to question it too much, but I'm glad you're asking it, at least, you know? I probably would ask that, too, if I, you know, was looking at this straight. It also shows, you know, like, hey, you're going to think about this deep, and that's the whole point of the show, of going into those discussions. Alright, so, here we go. Gotta do here is grab onto the handles. Yes, you have to be very specific how to do this. Okay, you're invincible here, but you lose time if you get hit by the spikes. So in that case, I'm not going to continue off of this. Or maybe I'll just say, you know, screw it, I'll just jump down. Alright, there we go, I got the fire sword. Yeah, I think that bonus score changes depending on how much time you have left. I know it affects how you get a continue, or if you do not get a continue in the case of this. Alright. Yeah, that one will shoot the enemies out. Yeah, they won't hurt you in certain areas. I think you can hit parts of them and they'll hurt you. Yeah, if you jump over that right, you'll be fine. Yeah, it is interesting, the idea of, like, yeah, you're right. I guess he hasn't gotten his full power yet. Okay, there you go. Yeah, hit that and you have... Oh, there's an item there. Okay, I did not do that on the test playthrough. They just use the grab there to get away from the fire. Make sure to keep moving. Or, going back to the Sonic Heroes parallels, like, look at that energy rising from above. Look at that energy coming above. It's rising! Quick! Everyone get to the top! Yeah, technically we're not going to see that next week for Sonic Heroes because we're doing the, Team Dark stuff, but we will definitely bring mention to that because we're going to hit the level where that happens. In fact, fine, we go to the same levels as every character as it is, so we're going to see that part. And actually, because we're doing Team Dark, it's worth bringing this up for Sonic Heroes. And there's a life over here, which I'm going over. For that one... Oh, no. Alright, perfect. Yeah, I meant to do that. So yeah, you can kind of make that work. With Sonic Heroes, it's good we're playing Team Dark story because they have the longest levels. So every level we're going to show off is going to show off the maximum of that game as it is. Whoa! Okay, that was... Alright, that was weird. You saw that, right? I didn't get burned. That is in the Genesis version as well, I believe. So it's not just... Somebody's like, that's an Nintendo Switch Online thing. Like, no, that is in the original as well. Yeah, sometimes you get stuck that way. Yeah, so that's where the difficulty lies. Alright. Alright, so here's the mini-boss. It's sort of a little bit of a puzzle, more than anything. You hear those voices going, hit it! Yeah, the numbers. Pay attention to what the numbers are, and defeat the enemies in that order. If I don't, the fire comes up and hurts me. But you can also get hit by the enemies if you touch them, so don't do that either. But, they have three-part. Yeah, that fire. Yeah, it definitely looks weird. I'm gonna be fine with it. Yeah, Ristar is the same case. Like, man, I'm hot, but as like first mentions, he's a star. He should be able to handle it, but hey, he's young. So it's like, maybe that's the next part. In the star lore of this, as far as that, his father will give it to him when we find him. Alright. You do that, you get an item. But then it'll speed up, and it won't tell you where the numbers are to stop, and it'll add an extra one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get health. Yeah, thank God you get that health. Now it goes faster, and they don't put the numbers there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. Okay, it's not. Oh, I'm glad I showed that, because if that happens, you get burned. And you have to do it again. Alright, so that's... Okay, this will be easy. Oh, unless I touch him and die. Although, that's one other thing I could do, and I'm not going to do this, but... on the Genesis controller, you know what? Since I died, I'll show this. There's a mode button. You can put that to put up the suspend point and like do save states. And if you hold the mode button down, you could do a rewind. But I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be a little more. I have a little more pride in myself. Also, I guess one other thing. It's the mode button that's from the 6-button controller. But this is a 3-button controller. But yeah, that's how you get into the menu, by the way, for the Nintendo Switch Online side of your Genesis stuff. You're playing with this controller. Oh, let's try this again. Alright, this is gonna be a little easier because I wanted to make a jump over the enemy. Alright, so let's go in a circle this way. Okay, that's the other thing, because you have to make the jump over the enemy there, and if you hit him, you get hurt as well. Alright, there's only 3 parts of this, though, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, when we do that, you bust the machine and get a life. So they're very nice that way. Oh. Alright, that's better. I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to go for super height. Actually, when I did the audio check when I started tonight, or before I started tonight, I actually got a perfect, or almost perfect, point bonus off of that, like 20,000. So I want to try that if I can, at least in levels that let you do it, because sometimes they have a ceiling at the end. But yeah, now we're in the factory, and I love this remix. Okay, that's the other thing. Yeah, go that way. Yeah, in that case, I'm safe. You know, I'll show that off later with the pulley. There we go. Alright. At some point, I also showed knocking off enemies. By the way, how this works is you grab it, and you hold... Okay, alright. In that case, I grabbed that, so fine. The pull, you grab it, and then you move up and down to take care of it. And then there's the fire enemies. Here's how you hit them. It seems like, how are you going to do that? They spin really fast. I think you have to wait till they spin a little slower. Or just take a risk. Okay, fine. Take a risk, that's the case. You can hit them, but you have to wait till they... slow down, but there's not an opening. Okay, or they say screw it and walk past. Yeah, but I'm already in trouble. Yeah, as I said, you're invincible for this, so this is how the fire isn't hurting me here, and yeah, I want to do the meteor strike here so that I can get the item over there, because there is a health item over that corner. And there is a little bit of slowdown, we'll say, which is in the original game as well. But yeah, the fact that this game runs... Oh, good. Oh, thank God, there's a pressure point. Perfect. So I can be a little more reckless going in there. Whoa. Or say, you know what, I'll go up here and get this. Okay, perfect, there's a life. Yeah, there are a lot of lives if you know where to look. And with the fact that there's 5 continues, as hard as this game gets later, and sort of is now, and me missing hitting him... Because, okay, actually, you know, it's probably good I'm showing that off, because the idea of... Oh yeah, there's a pressure point up there, but yeah, I'll have to go back and get it. Yeah, because the idea of how Ristar's working is he's grabbing stuff, but then he's launching himself at the enemy. So I guess it makes sense that, you know, I was going there, I was, like, missing the enemy. But yeah, there he is again. Yeah, because I rammed my head into him pretty much, is the idea. Oh, crap. Yeah, I wasn't looking below. I mean, this game is not bad as far as, you know, going downwards. But I was just not careful that way. You know, I'll go the other path. Yeah, what you want to do here is also pay attention to those holes in the wall over there, because fire will shoot. As long as you're holding the B button down, you have your hands on the pulley, and you're all set. Let go, it goes down. Oh! I'm waiting for him to stop doing that. I know he stops doing the fire eventually. Or stops spinning as fast. What is that? You know what? I'll just jump over. Okay, yeah, I just missed. There's those enemies there, which they'll shoot the fire out from the top. But I think if you hit them specifically, they'll switch where they're coming from. Alright, there we go. But oh, I also showed how the meteor strike knockoff works. I hit that enemy with it. When you're in the meteor strike like that, anything you touch dies. And you're totally invincible. So just use that to your advantage. Although it is something that you do have to get used to a little bit. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm always going to be careful watching that. So, yeah, sometimes you do have to pay attention to what your surroundings are, and sometimes I don't do that, which is my problem. Actually, that does remind me of one other thing, which is that I think it was mean to mention this earlier, but when I first played this, I think the first thing I thought above anything else was I said, this is something Treasure would make, feasibly, as far as how it looks and feels to a degree, even though it's a Sonic Team release. Which also might be the case of, like, when I played this after I played Mischief Makers on Nintendo 64, which has a mechanic just like this, actually. So feasibly pulling out from this. Alright, now I just gotta avoid hitting him. But there is one other thing here. Yeah, there's a bomb there. If you hit that, the bridge collapses. Also, if he hits that, that area will go. But I'm going to say, screw that, let's go to the top path. I need to find some health. I think there's some down here. I think. Okay, good. Well, there's a path there. Okay, that's the end of the level. Which is fine, because when I get to the end of the level and you go to the next section, you get a full health recovery anyway. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Well, for here anyway, because there is a ceiling by 4,000 points. Alright, Adahan is the next boss. I just realized I never explained my history of this game. That's fine. Do you have any? Let me know whatever it is, and we'll get into it as we fight Adahan, who's the mole. Yeah, he will drop the rocks like that on the approach, so be careful. Which I think is why they give you that health thing there. Oh, yeah, because I'm already getting hit twice, and we didn't hit this. I played it via the Sonic Mania Collection Plus, which is how I played it as well. Yeah, when I decided, like, you know, I'm going to do the unlock for this, because the unlock in that is annoying. But, as I said, this game is good enough that when I did it, I was fine with that. I was like, this game is great, and I feel like I just found this great secret I want to share with the world, and that's... Despite the fact that I was a Sega Genesis player at the time, like, I should have known about this game. I feel ashamed of myself that I didn't play it at the time of release. And, like, I was so close as a child, saying, like, let me rent this. I never beat it. Actually, interestingly enough, I never beat this until about a year ago. Or a year and a half ago, as it was. And even then, I didn't technically do it legitimately, because what happened was I was using the, I was using the Sega Genesis Classics collection to play it. I was actually kind of, yeah, I was waiting, actually. I was waiting with friends to go to MagFest, I believe. Before we were leaving, I was like, let me play something while I wait. It's like, I played this, and I beat it, but I was, like, using the save states constantly. It was like, okay, we're not doing that tonight, even though I have the option to do it. Yeah, by the way, how he works, just to give you an idea, is you have to headbutt him twice for each area, wait for he hits to the center, or drops out of the center, or comes out of the center of the ground, and just avoid his hands there. When it comes down to doing that, he will dig down, but you also have to wait till he does the sand wave. I think. Oh, actually, can you hit him? Okay, you can't hit him in the sky. I mean, it's fair enough to that because, yeah, this game gets really hard later. Although I'm being reckless now to show that, hey, it's pretty hard as it is. Yeah, you wait for him to do that, and he does that. You can jump over that and hit him. I do that twice, you see the ground going and something. Go to Sonic Heroes quotes again. I'm falling! And, yeah, when you have that happen, you're falling infinitely, but he passes by like there, and when he's there, wait for him to do that, and then hit him. He did that the one time we did there, and did this time as well. So he took his armor off. He was apparently controlled by Greedy. Alright, he's gonna try and attack me. Thankfully, it doesn't hurt you. I thought it did, so I was like, I just at least want to show that. But yeah, like, I'm just standing there, I'm like, yeah, like, what could you doing? Like, or to quote the movie Reservoir Dogs, are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? So yeah, in order to beat the boss now, yeah, he can't kill me. Headbutt him and make him cry and beg for mercy. Alright, there we go. There, at least I'm showing a different animation of Ristar there. I was like, but the thing is, like, I guess that's the idea of the plot of this, because the plot of this is that this creature, Greedy, took over this galaxy, and the citizens around are saying, hey, we need help from above. So they pray to the gods for that, or the star gods, and then basically what happens is that Ristar is resurrected, is the son of the star god, but the star god's gone too because Greedy got involved in that, as far as causing trouble. Wonderful. Alright, and you do get those words different depending on how many points you get at the end. But yeah, this game gets really hard later on, so I understand the idea of not beating it. In my case, it's like, well, I had it for a while, and then it took me 15 years since I first played it to beat it. It was like, well, let me sit down and do it. And then I was, like, cheating, pretty much, by save stating. And you understand why when we get to the final boss. So he's Jesus. Maybe. And you know what? Thank you for mentioning that. You might be right. In fact, let's get into that. I mean, the idea of, I guess, religious representation in games, which, in some ways, that's kind of what this is. We're in Planet Sonata, by the way, with this nice cityscape back there. And we have the bird there that has the metronome. You carry the metronome over here, and you're hearing the music going. But you hit him, you go... He's playing more of the song, and the music in the background will change to that, and Ristar will snap to the beat. And I'll play each part as we go along with 4 sections of this. But yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah, he is. I guess he is feasibly... Yeah, you know what? He is, because then, that would mean his father is God. Yeah, the idea of... Yeah, the son, yeah, God sends down his only son to die for our sins, except, spoiler warning, he's not going to die for our sins. He's just going to be helping people out to basically be the answer to their prayers, and feasibly, I guess, to smite evil as it is, although, I guess let's go, see, we're going into theology in this show. I like the idea. The Star of David, yeah, which is fitting. I guess we're playing this in December. You're right. Oh, man, okay. I just want to play this game in December for, actually, the next world we're going to go to. But yeah, you're right about that. As far as yeah, we're talking theology on this program, and we can do that because, well, hey, I'm not putting a limitation on it, and it's pertinent to this. But yeah, I never really kind of thought that perspective, but yeah, like the Star of David coming down to save everybody, and yeah, they're praying to the gods as it is, and here is Ristar. Well, actually, here's the thing. If we're going to take this as a reading into, that main tenet of Christianity as it is, that would also explain feasibly why, Ristar can be burned. It's like, wait a second. Okay, fine. Jesus, let's go into theological elements. Jesus was not burned on the cross, he was nailed to the cross. But point is that, yeah, he was born as man feasibly, so I guess the idea is that Ristar was, okay, fine, not born as man, he was reborn as a star god as it was, feasibly. They're just going through and, you know, grabbing the metronome. By the way, you want to put them the hole that way. Carry it along. And use that to hit the platform, or hit the button down and grab it that way. But here's the other thing I'm not doing, is that I'm not letting the enemies hit it, because they grab it, they take it back to a certain area. And you have to go backwards. Or in that case, get the hook there, and that can grab it and take it away. Whoa. And then just use the fans to get it up there to get it towards the next bird. Alright. I do love how dynamic the music is here, because you're hearing that every time we hit one of these things with the metronome, you... Oh, right, I forgot. I can go back into the chute. You're hearing another part of the song. You hear the dood, and then we have the second one. It goes dood, and then dood. And so it's dynamic as far as the music, and the background music is changing the purpose of that. Yeah, how fitting. Yeah, that's a good point, and thank you for bringing that up. And let's talk about, I guess, religion in games to a certain degree, because actually, I know in, like in the NES era, we talked Zelda a couple times in the show. The thought of Zelda was that Shigeru Miyamoto was making that. The perspective of that, the crosses and things of that, was supposed to be a reference to Christianity, and I think Nintendo's perspective was like, hey, we don't want to necessarily have a reference to that of a thought like, wait a second, is that going to make people uncomfortable, make them feel not included, I guess, to it? So they kind of downplayed it, and actually, one of the big changes of Ocarina of Time had to do with a religious element. Actually, the religion of Islam, as it is. And we'll get into that when we do Ocarina of Time next month. Okay, by the way, avoid the bombs, by the way. You touch those or grab them with your hands, you're gonna get hurt, but if you touch them on the side, you'll be fine, and also you can't land on them, as you said. Yeah, but with Zelda, there was not really a perspective, or they're like, hey, they don't want to do this. I think Nintendo was saying, look, I think Nintendo was probably looking at, like, the failures of the Atari 2600 when it collapsed in on itself, saying there were games that were feasibly untoward for certain elements. I mentioned that when we did Pitfall, the idea of, like, these pornographic games on the system. They said, like, we want to control what's on our system, number one, which is why the seal quality was a thing. And number two, we don't want to... I mean, it was early in the industry when you think about it. It's like, are people necessarily ready for a reference to that? Or like, hey, they're gonna interpret that wrong or not like. I mean, nowadays you have more of that. And actually, I guess at the time you sort of had that anyway with the games of this company called Wisdom Tree, which made games for NES and also in Genesis that were unlicensed for Sega and Nintendo that were biblically themed. I know there was Bible Adventures for NES and Genesis, which is definitely a well-known one, and also Super Noah's Ark 3D, which is literally a reskin of Wolfenstein 3D. Oh, I hit him coming down. Okay, I did not know that. Alright, we do that 4 times to get to the boss area. But I mean, I think maybe that's the idea that, and I think Ristar might have been an idea to that. Maybe they're like, hey, we're thinking this idea, and hey, make it a little bit of an allegory that way, perhaps. And I think that's kind of interesting. Actually, it's funny that, because I was also thinking about that when we played, I'm going up here to see if there's touch point. Okay, there is. Perfect. And yeah, he can survive falls, by the way, so you're fine. Because when we played Knuckles Chaotix, I brought that up with, Life is Strange, saying the idea that with Life is Strange, that there's a part in that you have to understand a Bible verse, and they'll put the name of it, what it is. Like, if you don't know specifically what that represents, you're gonna be in trouble. Apparently in the Japanese version of Ocarina of Time, one of the dungeons has a hymn from the Quran. That is correct, the Fire Temple. I have the version of the game that has that. That is the, it's the gold cartridge version. I could be wrong. No, you're right. It is. Because what happened was that, well, it's a couple things. We'll get into that before we do Ocarina of Time. We'll mention that when we get to that. Because actually, it's probably going to be a couple months of us playing it before we get to the Fire Temple. But a couple changes they made. Number one, there are a lot of, like crescent moon symbols on the blocks. They took those off. And actually, the reason they took them off was because... Not because they got complaints, because they actually were in the game before it came out, as you mentioned, the Japanese version. And what happened was that they said, all right, maybe we're putting it to Europe. They're thinking, well, maybe we don't want to have that. So they changed the images on the blocks. And for the Fire Temple, there's a passage that's like a Muslim chant from the Quran, or quoted from the Quran as it is, in that area. They took that out as well in the later releases. Again, I have the one that has it. But then there was also another game, but it wasn't because of complaints. It's like, hey, we want to localize this specifically where it's going. By the way, what you do here is you usually wait for those birds to hit their heads down, or then wait for the music to go that do-do-do-do-do, and then the enemies come out here as a little bit of a break. Just wait for them to stop shaking their heads, and then when they come down, hit them quick. But yeah, that's what happened with Ocarina of Time, and actually... There is another game that did that as well, although another case where they didn't complain about either, but they released the game that way. It was called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this in the chat, Kakuto Chojin, which was on Xbox. It was a fighting game by the people who made Tobal No. 1 for PlayStation, Dream Factory, and also made the Bouncer for Square for PS2. There was a passage of the game that has that same chant that Ocarina of Time had. They said, okay, we don't want to have this, because in that case it was also like a year after 9/11, and they said... We're going to take this out, but they shipped the game already. But then what happened was they said, this game did so badly, they pulled the copies of the game off the market. Well, okay, they didn't pull the copies of the game off the market. They said, like, oh, we're not making any more of them. But the game did so badly sales-wise, they said, you know, we're just not going to make any more. We're just going to stop selling as it was. But the game is not necessarily a rare one. But that's another case that, all right, yeah, you hold on the pulleys there, hold the B button as you go down. Yeah, but be careful, or otherwise you're hitting the spikes. But yeah, you're right. I mean... I like the idea we're going into this perspective as it is. We're on the second area of Planet Sonata. Alright, yeah, you swing on the poles that way for the trumpets, but you have to hit the actual ends of it, or the thin parts of it, instead of the horns there. It goes the Yeah, we'll go into that with Ocarina of Time, because I do have that version that has it. Actually, what happened with Ocarina of Time, we'll go into that as well. We're seeing, you know, the pirouetting dancing troupe. Yeah, wait till they throw their partner and stop spinning and then hit them. Yeah, for that, the Japanese version had those things in it. The first run of the game, before it even came out, by about a month, for the gold cartridge versions and some of the gray card versions of it, they had it in, and then the cartridge copies that were sent to stores, I guess before the or after the pre-orders were all, you know, satisfied, had the changes made in there that were then applied to every other version of the game that was on other systems. Alright. Also, you have the guitars here. I never understood how these worked for a while, but yeah, as you're standing on this floor, you have the music going on, and the guitars are dancing, and they will fall down. But yeah, if you jump a little bit, they'll stop. So yeah, just keep jumping and avoid it. Yeah, those are also the hard ones to avoid, the pirouetting dancers. But I do like that we're talking about this, and as I mentioned, I said we can go deep on the show to purpose that. Oh crap, I'm dying. Ow. Yeah, but he'll be fine as it is. We said he's the son of the star god, so yeah, Ristar will be fine. And we have 5 continues. Okay, I did it again. That was my fault. I was like, I should be jumping off of that. Okay, yeah, not grabbing before. All right, so now I'm completely being reckless. But as I mentioned with Sonic Advance 2, or referenced Sonic Adventure 2 before, yeah, I think this world, I'm pretty sure the people who made Sonic Adventure or Sonic Advance 2 were looking at this, because there's a couple references for sure here to the Music Land area of that game. Yeah, I've got to be careful not to die again. Come on. I don't... Yeah, get used to this later, but, yeah, right now it's, problem. Yeah, this is where the game is getting harder, but as I mentioned, it's a good difficulty curve that we have. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna let go there. Yeah, because if you let go a little bit, you go flying a little further. So yeah, there's physics based to this, just like Sonic is. But different, and definitely a lot slower than Sonic, but still a lot of fun. This game is fucking hard. Later on, yes, absolutely. The final boss is insanely hard until I figured out what the pattern was, but even then, there's specifics to that pattern that get really tough. And actually, that's where I guess maybe the Treasure perspective was something like, it feels like something the Treasure would make, because it is actually, okay, I'm thinking about this, and chat, let me know what you think on this. Would you say this is the hardest game of Sonic Teams? Because I don't know if I would. Okay, fine. Intentionally hardest games, because by that standard, you could say, like, oh, Sonic 06 is hard because it's broken. I was like, well, no, I don't mean it that way. Okay. Okay, let me think about that. I mean, honestly, Sonic Heroes is kind of... Oh, fine. Sonic Heroes is really hard, actually, in a lot of ways. And some of that is not the design's fault, or fine, the issues of the design's fault as it is. Some of it's other things. Alright, there you go. There is your callback to Sonic Advance 2, or Sonic Advance 2's callback to that. That is the same animation when you bounce on, like, the springs there, when they go to bang. He does that spin thing, or Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and Cream, and Amy do that. Yeah, they pulled it from this game. Sure, I've never beaten this game. Yeah, I would say this is the hardest. And it's not a bad one to say that. I mean, as I said, I guess maybe that's the question. Like, what are the hard Sonic Team games, and what would you consider them hard, or why would you consider them hard? Because actually, let's go into this. As I mentioned, we're doing Christmas nights on Christmas Day in 3 weeks. So, and we'll go back to normal night, or to regular nights as it is when I get that Saturn version. At some point, we'll do that. And I remember when the HD version came out in 2012. There are people who were saying, this game is really hard as far as the way the ranking works. But then again, I don't know if I necessarily say that Nights is hard for other aspects aside from the ranking. Because I know the ranking is definitely a different case for that. It's a different beast for that one. So, I mean, I guess you could say it's hard that way. But, I mean, as far as play, I mean, I guess this one... Okay, let's think about this. Yeah, because I guess let's think of other stuff Sonic Team's done. I mean, this, Nights, because actually, okay, they were making this and Nights at the same time as it was. They did Phantasy Star Online, which was hard for different reasons, although that was later. And there's the Sonic stuff, as is the case. And most of the really hard ones, like when we played Sonic 2 Game Gear, Sonic 2 8-bit, that was not Sonic Team who made that. That was Aspect Company who did that. So, yeah, you know, I mean, I guess I'd agree with you unless I'm forgetting a Sonic Team game. I'll give it a think. Okay, so there's a life up here, which is why I'm coming up here for that. And like with Sonic as it is, it does pay to explore. And that also is where, I guess, this game is hard, but it's fair, at least I'll say that. Because it does give you a lot of opportunities to get lives, and a lot of opportunities to find hidden stuff, but... And also the other thing is, unlike Sonic, you only take 4 hits before you die. And pay attention to what's going on in the areas. And also, yeah, in that case, bouncing up, you bounce up too high, you can hit the spikes on the ceiling, so be careful. So yeah, that's why they put the handles there. Alright. Yeah, you only get a max of 4,000 because of this. Yeah, I'm trying to think about this as far as other hard Sonic moves. I guess, yeah, chat, let me know any others you're thinking that are hard, whether they're harder this or not. And we can go into that as we go to the next boss. Alright, we're in the concert hall as it is. And there's this nice singing bird. Yeah, but here is, a Wowik. Yeah, this bird, he doesn't like what's going on. He wants to sing his own song. Yeah, it's distorting the graphics. Look at this. Yeah, it is going very wavy, very trippy. So, actually, I just thought of something else. This came out in 1995, same year as Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo, which also did something like this with the touch fuzzy get dizzy. It's like, yeah, is this the drug trip, or is this the idea of music as a drug? Like, yeah, I don't know if I'd say that necessarily. All right, you knock him off his perch, hit 3 times, and hit him. I believe he takes 8 hits. This one, or Dynamite Heady. Oh, Dynamite Heady, you're right. That's another one. Because actually, like with Dynamite Heady, you do have the music hall area. At some point, I do want to do Dynamite Heady again. I'm going to do the Japanese version because there's differences in the story that way, and some of his graphics. Including one potentially politically incorrect one, and same with Streets Rage 3, but we will do it that way too. Oh, the Streets Rage 3, I'm going to do both versions when we do that, but that's not going to be after we do Final Fight 3, because we're doing 2 next month, and then we'll do Streets Rage 2 eventually, and then Final Fight 3 as well. Alright, yeah, but just keep doing that. Avoid the notes. That's the hardest part, really. And we does the dive bomb as well, or the feathers as well. But yeah, you're... And, okay, that's the other thing, I guess, when I'm thinking about this, because, yeah, Sega published Dynamite Headdy, which was developed by Treasure. But yeah, I think both of those games, what they have in common is this unique mechanic of basically throwing yourself out in an 8-direction case with the D-pad controlling it. And then just this kind of, well, very vibrant color palette, number one, trippy visuals, and also the idea of, like, a music hall. Just knocking that off. Although in the case, unlike in that game, we don't have the music from the Nutcracker playing, or the Swan Lake music from the McDonald's Treasureland Adventures when we did that. Alright, so we took care of him, and he's gone. Actually, I'm surprised that was as easy as it was, because usually I have a lot of trouble on that boss. It's because of the music notes. That's really the other case. Although we were saying also, did it go back to Dynamite Headdy as it is? That's a very hard game as well. Although it's one I played... Actually, I did play that one growing up. I played that... That came out the year before this one did. And I did play that quite a bit and had it for a while. So in that case, I have a little more experience for it. And it's one of those games that... Actually, like Ristar, I'd like to see come back. Although it's been collected a lot, so at least there's that. But one that could feasibly be done with a modern take. Maybe something like Rayman, which is kind of like Rayman in a lot of ways. Anyway. Alright, now, this is the reason why I wanted to do this in December. Planet Freon. Oh my god, the music here is absolutely beautiful, as are the sights. And this is all for show, by the way. This is basically a cutscene. I'm going down the hill, and I'm on skis. So it's like Sonic 3, with Sonic going down the snowboard. Which I realized we didn't see, because we did it with Knuckles. Yeah, he's going down here with this beautiful music, with the, I guess the Christmas theme, and the city in the background with the snow falling. Perfect for Christmas, or perfect for 3 weeks from Christmas. Alright, there is, the Freon Kid. We'll see him later. I love this track so much. In fact, I'll say this also. I'm going to put a link to this in the YouTube site. There's a remix of this done by this guy called John Davis. J-A-H-N Davis. He does a lot of music remixes. He has a SoundCloud account. I'll link to that for sure. And video, he did a remix of this that is amazing. Oh my god, it is so terrific. It takes all the things that are great about this track and enhances it so brilliantly. In fact, actually so much. I played this at my office Christmas party. That's how good it was. And nobody necessarily picked up it was video game music, but I think there are people who knew about it and said, like, oh my god, this is great. Alright. Yeah, Planet Freon, here's the deal. When you're on ice like this, you hit those, you go into Meteor Star mode automatically. But yeah, when you're on the ice, you're just slipping. You have nothing you can do, so you can just jump. Avoid hitting everything. You hit the edge of that, you slide up, and you have to grab on the edges. Also, one other thing you can't do here... okay, I can't show it effectively yet. You can't grab on walls in this level, because it's all ice. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, this level, this music does have a sound of something out of World of Illusion. At some point, we'll do that game, but I have to figure a couple logistics on making that one happen. Alright, yeah, yeah, sometimes the enemies are there, so yeah, be careful. I also do want to get to a case so I can hit the ground. Alright, here you can do it. Yeah, there you go. His hands are cold. So yeah, that's the deal with this. Also, yeah, his idle animation is he creates a snowman. And that is not for show, and I will show you that later on. And another reason why this game is amazing. Yeah, but yeah, these parts are really hard because you can't control yourself outside of basically just jumping and then grabbing when you do it. But yeah, it's beautiful. I just love this. It is such a perfect game for Christmas for this area alone. Yeah, but there is the Freon Kid again. Yeah, he does that, which is a tough thing. He'll bounce up there and he'll hit the spikes into you, so be careful. You could also try and flush him out so that you can get on the handle quickly or on the bars and get out of the way without getting stabbed, which I am doing better on than I did on the test playthrough. I'll say that right now. Oh. Okay, I hit after. Also, yeah, these floors will fall, so basically just jump across or jump as soon as you hit. Alright, there is the hidden handle. Whoa. Yeah, I don't want to miss it. I found it. I don't want to fall off and not get it. Alright, this is another ice thing, and actually, this is where you're going to be using that grab to get the treasure and get the continue for it, which I should be able to do. Just jump that, and there you go. And when you jump here, grab that. And then just jump through here, and you have it. And that should be quick enough. Alright, we got the Sunday. Okay, maybe I was wrong about the score, because it gives me 1,000 even though I finished it quickly. Okay, so I guess it's 1,000 if you get it. It's nothing if you don't get it, and there's going to be one I'm probably not going to get it for, because it's insanely hard. And then it's, the continue if you get it quick enough. Alright. Alright, so yeah, my hands are cold, that's fine, don't worry about it. Ow! Yeah, there is the Freon kid. Yeah, we gotta teach him a lesson. Grab him and hit him, but be careful of the bombs he drops. Alright, here you go. Yeah, you stand still, your idle animation makes a snowball, and you throw it at him. I love that. Oh my god, I cannot think of another game. Chat, can you tell me if there is... Am I wrong about this? Is there another game you can think of where you actually have to use the idle animation of your character for a gameplay mechanic? That's what I'm saying about this game, why it's so great. They really were thinking, for sure, with what they're making. You hit him a couple times and he's done. Yeah, and he waves the white flag. There you go. But yeah, as I said, you're using the idle animation for the purpose of gameplay, which is amazing. And that's another reason why I feel this game needs to be celebrated. We'll hear this wonderful music. It's so beautiful. There we go. Alright, height of 8,000. I got pretty much to the top, so perfect. Alright, now Splash Snow is the next area we're going to go to. I'm getting a lot more chill on this as we have the water in the background. It's very nice. This is also a very underrated track for sure, but it's one I don't remember as much as Act 1. Yeah, you have those, I guess, star launchers. Be careful of those. Whoa! Actually, now thinking about, back to, because I'm looking back at chat every so often just to get a sense of, like, okay, if I saw something new or missed it. But now that I'm looking back, I'm realizing, yeah, the Dynamite Heady connection actually is probably more in time than maybe even I was thinking. It's like, yeah, both yellow characters as far as their color scheme and also the idea of what they're doing and how much mileage the game gets on the back of the mechanics that it has. Yeah, if you haven't played Diamond Head, that's another great one. And we'll do it, but as I said, I know Chad's been saying they want to see Gunstar Heroes. I know I want to do Gunstar Heroes at some point. So there you go. Okay, got friends coming up. Nikki playing Pokemon Shining Pearl. Yeah, they're liking it more than I am. Well, fine, more than I'm seeing given the problems that I mentioned on it. Including the fact they patched it this past week for the purpose of its progression bugs. Yeah, people apparently are okay with that because, yeah, they've been buying that game in droves. But, I mean, I'll say this. Despite everything I'm saying about that, it does look... I mean, it looks like it's fine and fun as far as how it is, just that, yeah, it almost... I mean, okay, this is also maybe why I'm going to this Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack thing. Because people say, like, hey, is Nintendo not doing a great job with their stuff recently? I'm like, that's another case of that. I was like, I'm surprised that there's crash bugs in the Pokemon Gen 4 game. I mean, I'll say this, it's probably the buggiest game in the franchise since Gen 1. I mean, Gen 1 was buggy as hell, but I don't remember it having progression bugs. At least not like that. Oh, yeah, there's the other thing. You have the... Ow. Yeah, when those land on the ground, they put the waves out. That hurts. Also, you have the snowman heads, which actually looked a little bit like Strong Sat from Homestar Runner Show. Although, actually, another Dynamite Heady thing, because this is exactly what Dynamite Heady does. And there's Edwalk. Yeah, Nikki and Edwalk, by the way, seeing them on the show is not a problem, because, yeah, they were in the chat for Knuckles Chaotix and Katamari Damacy Reroll. And I appreciated their input on both of those, for sure. Actually, they were also in the chat for Dynamite Heady. Actually, you know what? Since they came up, and I have a reason to talk about this, I'll tell you. It was when I streamed Dynamite Heady the first time. They were in the chat. Yeah, Nikki as it was, who you saw on screen there. Said in the chat specifically, and this is how the show got its name, saying, this show should be called SuperOldGameSaturday. And that is how the show came to be. So yeah, thank you, Nikki and Edwalk, for your inspiration that way. And for your input in the show, and for everyone in the chat as well. As I said, that's the thing. This is a community show, really. If nothing else. And I mentioned, that's going to be what I'm going to love for next year as we go along. Because I'm going to have more guest appearances on the program for certain games that they want to see. And I said, the first one's going to be for Ocarina of Time with Protorov. And I'm going to have to get with him a bit later. Yeah, Protorov will call me if you're watching this. And we'll talk that one, because I want to make that happen. You got to be in on that game for sure, as I know you've said you want to. As they're going through the Winter Wonderland as it is. Although, as I said, it's more like an island. Actually, that's what I like about this, looking at that. It is like an ice lake, but it's almost like an island ice lake, weirdly enough. Also, you have to go quickly to avoid this spiked pufferfish guy there. Oh, okay, he did drop a health. Grab that. Whoa! Ow! Yeah, this is where you're also getting the, you know, the vents again. But it's harder because you have the fish there and... Oh, okay, I was gonna say, can I grab it just in time? No, I can't. Yeah, you have to go quickly and avoid the fish. Oh, okay, come on. I got him. Yeah, I think we're near the end level. Yeah, we are, because there's this guy. Want to kill him because of this. Yeah, this part. This is where things are getting really hard. You're on the ice. You have to jump very specifically here. And it gets a much shorter distance. When I did the test playthrough, I did this on my first try. I don't think that's happening this time, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's not. Perfect. Oh, and right, he respawns. So yeah, if you fall in there, you're dead, pretty much. Or if I hit there again, I'm dead. You just wait to the end and jump. And this is where it also gets really hard. As I said, this game is very difficult, as we were mentioning. And I think it's fine here because I think, yeah, we're about 5 worlds in now. So at that point, yeah, the game is really good at how it takes the training wheels off. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to take a risk. Oh, whoa! Yeah, because there's the hidden handle. Actually, I didn't find this in the test playthrough. I was like, yeah, there's something over there. Let me go there. So like with Sonic, it plays to your creativity. Oh, whoa! Alright, how the hell do they expect me to get over there? Actually, I don't even know if I've ever played this one. Go! Alright, let's go. Okay, so, alright, first thing I have to do is jump into the hole. Yeah, this might be the first one I fail. Yeah, okay, I have to jump early now. So yeah, this game... Oh, I just hit the lip. I just missed it there. Alright, yeah. Ristar's not having a good time just sliding away as it is. Okay, got it, finally. Okay, so I just swim under the... Oh, okay. Alright, this is like the electric seaweed in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES. Look, everybody mentions that, so I may as well bring it up, mention to it. Yeah, just swim there and be careful not to hit the spikes. Oh, and I still have to hit the ice again to get out. Whoa. Okay, yeah, I have to grab that. I might just get this, or might just miss it. Alright, go! Yeah, I'm not getting this. Ah, just missed. Alright, yeah, if you get a time up, by the way, you just don't get the treasure. Yeah, but I guess, he's still looking, you know, excited to it. Alright, let's see about this. I was gonna say, hopefully I don't have to do this again, or do it badly. Alright, fine, I fell down a little, so, sorta, but... should be alright. Enjoy the colors again. It is just gorgeous. I said, for 64 colors only on this system, my god, did Sonic Team really utilize that well and make you look at this and say, like, you're never thinking that playing this game. Alright, so this fight bonus 500. Alright, but this boss I'm a little nervous about. It's Itamor. Or Itamor. Itamor. I guess. Yeah, Itamor. Alright. Yeah, he's on the castle over there that's, with a lightning storm. Yeah, he puts bombs in his mouth, and there is, the, Freon kid. Yeah, apparently we earned his respect with the, snowball fight. Yeah, and he'll jump, by the way, here. He'll bounce 3 times, basically wait till the second bounce to walk under. He'll give you the pies there. Throw them into his mouth. But sometimes it's hard to throw it into his mouth. He'll toss that as well. Yeah, and he can freeze you that way as well, and then he'll do the suck-in. Come on, bring back that... Yeah, this is the easiest way to do it, because if you're just sucked in without that happening, you're going to get yourself hurt pretty badly. Or fine, you take 1 hit. But still, any hits are bad. Do that a couple times. Yeah, if you drop it, though, there's going to be trouble. Okay, I got him in his mouth perfectly, which is not easy to do, as I mentioned. Yeah, you have to be very specific with the timing on that, or, yeah, getting hit and, you know, getting that, yeah, freeze me, it's fine. Every time he does the freeze, he'll do the suck-in. Actually, this is probably the easiest way, because his mouth is open the widest. Just throw it and toss, got him. Well, fine, I think I got him one more time. Ow. Okay, I walked too early. Yeah, you can't really jump out of his way that much. Okay, perfect. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Alright, we did a second time like that. Yeah, done. First try. Okay, yeah. There was not that case in the test playthrough. I died here like 6 times. Actually, no, more than 6. I think I died... I'm trying to remember if I got a game over. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, and you just have to knock him in the chests. Alright, there is the Freon kid. Yeah, we earned his respect, apparently. So, yeah, we'll see you later, my friend. Maybe the Game Gear version, if I can get a copy of that. Well, I think it's actually easier to find that on Game Gear than it is on Genesis. Because you're going for this on Genesis, it costs like 60, 70 bucks. And given how good this game is, I can understand it. And it's worth that much. I totally would have paid 60, 70 bucks for this back in 1995. If I'd have known better. But that's sometimes what happens, and I'll go to this, I guess. Games that you play years later. I mentioned this to other people as well. You'll play a game years later that was around when you were alive. And then you say to yourself, why didn't I play this when I had all the opportunities? Like, hey, if you didn't have the system, that's one thing, but in other cases, maybe not. Alright, this is a planet Automaton. This is the last main world of the game, and this is where things get really hard. We have those fire slinkies there. Yeah, basically wait till they stop shooting that. Hit them, and they split into two, so be careful that way, too. And yeah, sometimes you can target the one behind, and that's going to be a problem on the final boss. We also have this robot here. Basically wait till he goes the other direction and stops like that to hit him. Boom. Yeah, as long as you take it carefully, you're fine, except here where, yeah, the walls go away, so you have to go quickly with the grabs. Be careful not to fall in the lava below or into the mechanical elements. But yeah, that's also a bounce pad right there. Boom. You hear this, I guess, intriguing, mechanical music going on in the background here as we're getting close to Greedy's lair. Yeah, this kid, yeah, you can also go backwards as far as hanging on this, or get hit. Oh yeah, like with Planet Freon, you do have these gravity floors that work the same way the ice did. And just like with that, you do want to grab that case if you can find a way of it, or avoid the lasers. Oh, right. Yeah, they shoot the lasers. Actually, they're like the Flybot 767s from Sonic 3, now I'm thinking about it, because they also give you the warning, and then you get the, when you go down the area. But also, yeah, Ristar's getting a new pair of kicks for this area of the level. Yeah, you have air swimming. It only goes for a little while, and I think it goes for about, a minute, I think, or 3 seconds, or if you get hit. So far, I have not gotten hit, so we're fine. Whoa! Or maybe if you hit the ground. Okay, fine. Maybe if you hit the ground. I think that was what happened. I hit the ground when I was doing test playthrough, and that's when it was going. Yeah, basically it's the same as the swimming. Alright. Alright, there you go. Yeah, you just have to wait on those guys. I usually don't, which is my problem. Alright. Actually, the mini-boss here is surprisingly hard, even though it doesn't look like it might be. Okay, no, I still have the air swimming here as well. Actually, okay, I didn't go over here. Let's see what's over here. Oh, or me dying is over here as well. Yeah, get used to seeing that in this world in particular. As I mentioned, yeah, at this point, we've gone through 5 other worlds. The game is like, yeah, we know you've brought your skill to that. You've been doing well. But yeah, we're taking the training wheels off completely. So you have to be ready for that. And hence the reason why this is can be difficult. Although, I'll say this. We're saying this is difficult, and parts of it definitely are. But I don't know. Chat, would you say this is one of the hardest games on the Genesis? Because I don't think I would. Even with some of the really hard parts of it. I don't know if I'd say this is hard as something like Contra Hardcore or Musha or... Alien Soldier. Alien Soldier, which might be the hardest game on the system. Either that or Contra Hardcore, or at least the hardest I've ever played. But I don't know if you necessarily say this is one of the hardest games on the system. Oh, actually, no. We mentioned Comic Zone. Comic Zone's hard, but for, maybe for the wrong reason. Alright. Actually, I don't think I went over here. Okay, I guess alright, fine. I guess, fine. Discount everything I was saying as far as the, air shoes. Alright, me getting killed here. I'm gonna come back here, just because I want to see what's up there. But I guess the air shoes last a while. I guess you have to go over a, I guess a, invisible point, where it's like, oh, they're not gonna work anymore. But I know when I was practicing this game, I think I got hit, actually, by that enemy right there, and then I just hit the ground. But yeah, in this case, I could just, yeah, do air swimming. But yeah, here you go. We're getting into our inner, Star God, or our inner Jesus, as it is. Well, okay, fine. Jesus didn't swim in the air. He walked on water, although... Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, as I mentioned when we did Knuckles Chaotic, maybe I'm a bad Catholic, because I don't remember every element of my, catechism teachings. Hey, you're never gonna get a stream of this game talking about it that way, so I appreciate that as well. Alright, come on. Or maybe... Right. Yeah, because I'm just stopping here at the top of this. Or, yeah, okay, fine, climb the wall. Just do what I was always doing. Or just hang on the enemy. Actually, that's another thing, I'm glad I came this way so I can show this. Because, yeah, if you just grab the enemy without letting go of the button... I'll try and do this. There we go. Yeah, you hang that way. And they'll go down, so in that case, you want to take a direct... Oh! The handle's here. That's interesting. It's in the ground, so like, yeah, I'm spinning in ground. Alright, perfect. Actually, I've never seen this one, so we're gonna take a look. Oh, wow. So yeah, that wall climbing thing I was showing you, yeah, hope you're good at it. Oh, or no, never mind. I mean, okay, I can be good at it, but I have to bounce up. Okay, never mind. This actually is going to be a little easier than I thought. Okay, yeah, this is not going to be too bad, especially compared to the next part of this. Oh! Oh, that's a continue after 22 seconds. Okay, perfect. Yeah, look at Ristar just bouncing there with the key, just having the ball. Well, I'm having a ball playing this game because I do think this is terrific. And again, that's, I guess, the point of this. And as I said, this is a game that I gotta give, I think it deserves attention on this program. It is perfect for this program, really think about it. The idea of something that seems like it's maybe not represented as much, but something that is worthy of attention and discussion, and deep discussion, even theological discussion, if you want to get that way. Alright, yeah, here's the case here. You gotta use that wall thing, because if I fall on those spikes, I'm getting myself hurt. Yeah, okay, there we go, like that. Basically just go up, yeah, basically go to the right that way, then aim up. So yeah, it's definitely challenging you for this. And here, aim up and hit onto that before you die. Alright, look at that. I just avoided getting myself killed. And just time as well, because it helped. Also, in this case, hanging on to these so I can avoid doing that. And you will fall off those eventually, so yeah, just hit onto it. You don't necessarily have to swing, but I tend to like to do it anyway. Whoa! Alright, yeah, okay, it looked like there. I was like, yeah, I was avoiding getting myself hurt. For like a second. Alright, we were at the boss. Which doesn't look as hard as it's probably going to be for me. But yeah, use the Beer Strike to go through the wall. Although I don't think you have to use it to go through. Alright, here we go. This is the head orblets. Okay, orblets. Those are what those green things are. Yeah, there's a few sections of this. He'll throw the enemies out. Yeah, if you hit them, or you can defeat him that way, but then you go, and when he comes out, hit him as well. You have to do this 5 times. But it'll change his pattern. It's actually easy to get yourself hurt. Actually, depending on what his pattern is, like this one. This uses 3D a little bit, so you basically wait until he goes in the background like that and hit him. It's not easy to see it, honestly, so you have to kind of get your bearings going. And you go with circles. By the way, when you kill the other enemies, they will be invincible, although they won't hurt you anymore if you touch the black area. So be all set. Yeah, they'll go into the, like, the wheel like that, or the X. Yeah, that's what happens a lot to me. Me getting hit by the enemies on that. Because I'm pretty much just grabbing everything I can. And then sometimes I miss one of the enemies. But if you're good at grabbing, this boss should be no problem. Unfortunately, I'm not making it look that way. And yeah, he will randomize the pattern, by the way. Sometimes he'll do the circle first, sometimes he'll do the, I guess the cross. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, there you go. Oh, that was a lucky catch. Or lucky grab, as it was. So yeah, the cross, maybe. There's the religious significance as well. Alright, yeah, this is the other one. He'll come down like that and do that. Alright, so perfect. Yeah, because so he'll randomize it. And it's times like this, I'm glad there is 8-way grabbing. So, and that's the other thing, I guess, with how difficult this game is. We've sometimes said this is difficulty before, but it's one of those games that when I make a mistake, when I die like that, I realize, yeah, that was my own damn fault. So I'm not going to say, no, the game screwed me out. You do that 5 times, oh, right, he can still hurt you coming down and hit him. There we go. Okay, that two tries for that, way better than when I practice this. But then again, for some games like this, that's why I want to do practice. All right, up all the way. Oh, there we go. That's the height bonus I got when I did the test. Perfect. 20,100 points. All right, next is the Brain Maze. And it certainly is. And the color scheme of this reminds me of the end of Shinobi 3. Alright, yeah, what you do is you go through each area, put the crystal in the hole, usually, and go to the transporter over there. Sometimes you get cases of this, like this enemy here, and yeah, when he bounces around like that, there you go. You hit him, he'll bounce around. Sometimes it's hard to hit him and without getting yourself hurt. Do that to make the orb appear. So yeah, that's what this is really going to be, a lot of puzzles. But not all of them are going to involve the orbs, including this one. Yeah, there's the transporter over there, but what you gotta do is you gotta hit this platform which is going up and down, but when you hit it from a specific angle, it changes direction. So yeah, going left and right. So you jump on that and make you jump over that way. And there's another one that's coming up that's gonna be a lot later. Again, showing off the technology of this. this tractor beam, which actually looks like the tractor beam you just saw at the end of Tails' Adventure. Okay, yeah, he's ready for action now. It is. Yeah, you go in the background. And I love that. I just love all these little things this game is doing. All the great ideas, and that's, you know what? Like first, you're right. Sega, please, if you're watching this, I'd love to see another one of these just to build on some of the amazing ideas. This is one of those, I'll tell you, this is one of those platform games like Sonic, like with Diamond Head, like with, okay, Gunstarters, I don't know how much I'd say it's a platform, but Gunstarters fits in that as well. It's one of these games that, when it comes to the mechanics of it, the people who made it, well, A, knew exactly what they were doing, but really had a lot of creative applications for what it was they were offering. And the kind of things like, yeah, I can't even think of a lot of games nowadays that do anything quite like this one. Even the other games of Sonic teams. So in that case, like, yeah, mine something like this for ideas. I would love to see that. This kind of unbridled creativity. And that's not, look, I'm not necessarily dumping on, like, other games that are popular. So like, hey, they're, like, franchises or things like that. Or something like, hey, these popular games are popular for a reason. I'm not saying, like, hey, it's easy to be creative. It's not. It's absolutely not easy to be creative in any way, shape, or form. It takes a lot of skill to that, but I know that people can definitely do that, and like seeing that. This looks like one of the final levels in Contra Hardcore. Yeah, I guess I've never gotten that far, because the game is insanely hard, but, yeah, we'll do that. I might break the save state rule in that one, because, damn, that game is so difficult, but it's a good game. It's a very good game. I mean, I guess that's the other thing. It's like, hey, companies looking at each other, as we mentioned. All right. Yeah, I do want to try and... Yeah, can I make this jump from here? Okay. Oh, crap. I forgot about that. You can get crushed. Okay, you know what? I'll say this. When I was doing a test playthrough on this... Actually, even when I beat it the first time, I said to myself, can you get crushed to death by that? I didn't know. And when I was doing a test playthrough, I said, I should take a look and see if that's the case. At least I showed it now. I was like, oh, I showed it again now. Damn. All right. You see, this is not the hard room. Fine. It's hard room in this, or it's a hard room in the sense of, hey, I need to make sure that everything's going correctly of going to the left and right. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get that down low enough. Yeah, send that back up. Okay, fine. No, I shouldn't send it back up. I should send it over to the right. Or down. Okay, I can do that. Uh-oh. Yeah, so this is where it gets a little more difficult. Alright, let's, Yeah, because I think you hit it from the bottom. Yeah, if you hit it from the bottom, it will go up and down. If you hit it from the sides, it'll go left to right. Okay, perfect. I think. Or what I can do is, yeah, do that. There we go. Use the stepping stones. There's multiple ways to go through this. Or through that one, anyway. Yeah, this one's a little more difficult. What you have to do is you have to grab the paper back in there. And it's either random or it's the fourth one you pick. Okay, no, I guess it is the fourth one you pick, because when I did a test playthrough, I pulled that one on the end, and it always gave me the gem to put into the hole. Alright, so I guess you have to pull all four of them as it is. Avoid hitting that thing, or getting hit by that thing. Oh, yeah, there you go. You pull the last one, and there is the gem. Yeah, it definitely has, you're right, as far as this, I'll say, with the look of Contra Hardcore of what I played of it, which is that it does have this very mechanical perspective itself, even which is unique even as far as how Contra tends to go. So in this case, I mean, yeah, I get the comparison that way. All right, yeah, you have the circle of those. Yeah, how far can I go just climbing the wall? Not completely far enough. Yeah, but yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, wait till you see the bonus stage here, and I will definitely go get it. I know exactly where it is. In this case, pretty much just wait for them to get to this point and go diagonal, or try to go diagonal. Alright, yeah, okay, fine. The other thing you do is you can also just say, you know, screw it, we'll go that way, but no, I'm not doing that. Because actually there is a life if I go the top way. So I'm definitely going to do that. Yes, the hardest thing as far as the meteor strike, I'll say that, is just getting the timing down of, like, when is it going to launch and what direction he's going to go. Because you can use the D-pad to maneuver him, but coming off of that is not easy. There we go, perfect. And as I mentioned, we did that because there's a life in the box. And I need it. I mean, yeah, I have 8 lives and 5 continues, but still, I need it. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the gun's there. You have to pay attention to where the bullets are coming from. You hear that? You like that, dude. Okay, yeah, in that case I didn't jump in time, but yeah, you can feasibly play this game by the sound as far as that. And like, hey, hear that. There's the bullet coming, let me jump. There you go. Yeah, so you can kind of get into a good rhythm with it that way as well. Ow. Yeah, but if you're too close, feasibly, it's not going to help you that much. Oh, crap. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of guest appearances on this program, as it is, as far as my Switch friends. Which I guess is fitting, because I just realized, last year, actually this weekend for last year, I did use the Nintendo Switch Online service as well for Donkey Kong Country 2, so, also for 1995, so, yeah, I guess that's, the theme of, the first December show is going to be platforming games from 1995 played through the Nintendo Switch. Though I don't know if I'm going to make that, you know, an annual, you know, custom. Alright, yeah, this is also where you're going to love the fact you're invincible on this thing. Just jump on this and hold the B button. And wait for the enemies to run into you and die. As I mentioned, how many times I referenced, and then he ran into my knife from Chicago, that's another case of it. And you get the gem really easily. Although, actually, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, this isn't the one that has something up there on the top, is there? Okay, no, there's not. Yeah, just bouncing all around. Or up and down and all around as we're going to Sonic stuff. And there's some health. Yeah, another one of those things in the background. This was a little bit of a puzzle to a certain degree, because, yeah, there's that star handle. You can't grab it from here, but you can grab the handles over here. Actually, here's the thing, actually, because if you get hit, you go back into the foreground. So actually that can help you, in which case, if that happens, then you actually have to use the star handle. But what you do here is, there are the handles up there, just hit up and B, grab onto them, and go right across. Yeah, I'm doing that, I swear. And you come out, or actually, feasibly, here's the other thing. Yeah, if you fall down that way, you can use the star handle to meter strike up here, or just do the same thing. Alright, here you go. Yeah, there is the, oh yeah, okay, fine. I don't touch the side of the spike or I get hurt. But yeah, use the meter strike to get through there to get to the end, or you go to the left and up, as I'll show. Oh. Yeah, like that. Alright, perfect. Well, mostly perfect. Yeah, here is the handle. This is the last bonus handle in the game, and this is the hardest one. Yeah, this is the one where they're testing your ability to do the wall climb, and it is insanely tough. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, basically you just have to go into the wall like this and diagonally hit the next area. And you have to be pretty much pixel perfect. Yeah, like that. You have to basically go to the right and then go diagonal, usually. Because, yeah, that part at the top you can't hit. Yeah, and this is basically like the first time I played it. Whoa! Okay, there you go, perfect. You have to go diagonal and go into the yellow. And hit that, perfect. And same in this case. Yeah, because I usually do it diagonally, but in some cases, like, oh, you have to go right and then go diagonal that way to hit the bar over there. So you have to be pretty much on your game perfectly in order to hit it. Alright, just got it. Now the last one, you have to do the same case. And I do love the idea that, yeah, they're challenging me now on how to do this. Like, oh, let's do it that way. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, no! Yeah, we'll see if I can do this. I don't know. Oh. Ah, yeah, that's the hard part there. If you fail getting up the wall as it was getting onto the handle over there, or the bar as it is, yeah, you're gonna see that. Yeah, that's hard for a reason, but at that point they're saying like, well, A, it's a bonus game, and B, they want you to show that, yeah, you mastered using the meteor strike. Well, no, mastered using the wall grab. Well, the wall grab and your grab in general. But I do love the fact that the game has that mechanical, you know, depth to itself to say like, yeah, we're gonna ask you to do this. Also, here's the end of the level. The other thing I will show is... there is a warp there. I believe you can go back... You know what the hell, let's go back. Let's see what this is. Alright, just takes you back here. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll go through the way I guess they intend you to, feasibly, if you don't want to do the bonus game. But it does take you back to the same place, so just use the... Oh! Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, let go at the last minute. That's why I got hit. Alright, there we go. Yeah, right. Yeah, enough. We're going. Alright, 8,000. Perfect. Alright, so we got a boss, Uranum. Or Uranum, as it is, I guess. We were talking Sonic Mania before. Yeah, the television thing. Here's the thing. He's on TV. Yeah, he throws the ball to you. That is not just for show. When he throws it, jump. Otherwise, you're getting hit by that and get hurt. I love that touch as well. It's like, yeah, you gotta be paying attention even on the approach. Alright, here we go. Here's your random. Yeah, he hits you with those things. You have to hit him, I think, 30 times. It's also one of these cases where you gotta be aware of a couple of his attacks, including hit that. But yeah, when he goes on the ground like that, you get the hook to drop down on him from, that's, Inonis, who is the, lead scientist of, Greedy, as it is. Right. And he changes colors as you go along and gets new attack patterns. But yeah, I have only one hit to go. Okay, I don't know how I avoided that. That was, really close. Okay, yeah, but he's on the ground there. Yeah, you can get another hit by having the hook come down, if I can make that happen. Eventually, his body becomes a hitbox. Yeah, I think it's, next, phase. Okay, I'm just missing him each time. Yeah, and he'll eventually get up on his own. But otherwise, he'll do a Hadouken! And I believe that actually is that was intended. They said, like, oh, that's supposed to be a reference to Street Fighter 2, specifically, which played last week. Oh, yeah, I am getting lucky avoiding dying. There's one more hit and I'm... Okay, there you go. I wasn't that way. So that was the, you know... Yeah, the not really, you know, glorious death that way. But yeah, I died a lot at this one when I first played it. Alright. Yeah, basically, staying on the wall is gonna be your friend. And also the diagonal downwards right is gonna be your friend, too. You get the hook there, but yeah, don't get hit by the hook yourself, otherwise you're gonna be hurt too. Woo! Also, the other thing I probably should mention, like, when you're in the grab state like that, and you're doing the spin like that, you are invincible when that happens, so you can use that to your advantage, or if you've ever played something like Enter the Gungeon, or, Astro Boy Mega Factor, another game of treasures as far as Astro Boy is concerned. Yeah, you have that move that you can use to basically have an invincibility frame. You can use that to your advantage. Yeah, I am actually making quick work of him, but yeah, don't want to speak too quickly on that. Yeah, now he has a hitbox, I think. Or, okay, fine, maybe he doesn't now. Alright. Alright, I think a couple more hits and got him. Come on. Okay, no, I think he trips. That's what happens. So when he does the trip, you're still hurt that way. Alright, got him. Yeah, another case where I was like, yeah, I did okay. Alright, so he is gone, and Inonis is also getting away. Yeah, we got one more world to go, and you're hearing some of the Sonic-like sound effects. And you hear that on the final boss as well. I guess flashing lights potentially here. We got another hook as this place is going to go down. So let's get out of here. Alright, so there they go on their rocket, but yeah, we're sort of following them, as you'll see in just a second. Alright, Planet Automaton is done. Yeah, I'm amazed I got any technical bonus off of that at all, because I was getting myself hit constantly. Cool. Yeah, definitely so. Or, fantastic. See, I was also hoping, like, hey, there's words here that we can use to, like, Sonic colors, like, good, awesome, outstanding, amazing! But, oh, I don't think there are. Well done. Yeah, well, we have to wait till final boss. Well, thank you for the encouragement, yes, but, yeah, final boss. Yeah, we're crashing into this place, yeah. Ristar's had enough. It's like, yeah, we've gone through this, although... It's been sort of smooth sailing, I guess, but I said I practiced this, so I think that's the reason why. Yeah, basically just gotta make the climb up to the top in, Castle Greedy, as it is, where we are now. I think the only world in the game that doesn't have a naming, presented for itself. Yeah, we were having, you know, the stasis tubes and all that stuff in the background. Use the wall climb. And I love the fact that this is a thing, and that it is so great. And that's the other thing, the controls in this game are unbelievably precise, so... It's not hard to get used to, but then eventually when it asks you to do these tough things, you're going to be fully equipped to do whatever the game wants you to do in order to survive. Ooh, like that. Or to say, yeah, you know what? I can use the handle to do the meteor strike to get up there. I can avoid that eye, which isn't going to hurt me. Just following me. Just use that, grab up there, boom, there we go. Hit that down, boom. And it's just absolutely effortless. You feel like you can just do all these amazing things without ever missing a beat. Alright, here is the, second to last boss. Yeah, we have electricity over there, keeping us there. This is the Ibar 555, and this is Inonis who's running it. Hits the name, hit the eye, and take advantage of the fact that you're doing that spin thing. He'll do a check on it. Just keep hitting it, but also avoid the shots he has over there as far as the bullets or the other shots. Yeah, just keep hitting them. And that one as well, but if you Yeah, right there. Actually, I think I... How did I get... avoid getting hit on that? I'll have to look at the test playthrough because I think... Either I just missed it, or I was in an invincibility state, I think. I don't know. I'll look back. Alright. Just keep doing that until he dies. And also, yeah, using that to knock away the boomerang. Yeah, he'll just keep checking the eye, but yeah, we got him. Alright. Yeah, I made that look easy, but the next boss is not going to be easy, because that is the final boss. But yeah, here's a thumbs up by Ristar. So Inanus is gone. He was greedy scientist, so who's this greedy guy? We heard about him at the beginning. Here we are. Hey, if you're a fan of Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, pay attention to the sound. You're going to hear some sounds that are very familiar to you. This boss is really hard, I'll say that. Yeah, there you go. The wood from Sonic. Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, those things will go, and they'll shoot bolts out. Sometimes you just want to wait for that and just knock them out. Sometimes I don't do that. It's like, hey, there you go. Yeah, he's going to fly around, and you want to hit him when you can. And he'll drop 2 enemies, which, yeah, that can sometimes get in your way, so be careful that way. Also, he'll sometimes throw enemies in circles. See if I can show this. Because when he does that, you can actually recover health with the enemies if you hit them. Yeah, like that. Yeah, if you hit the enemies back, they'll sometimes turn into items. So yeah, this is a part of the game you can actually get items off of this, but this is the only part of the boss you can do that. I think I already negated it. Let's get that star there. Oh! Okay, I got it before it hit my, life bar. Okay, I've never seen that happen before. So yeah, alright, there you go. You can't... the star doesn't count until it hits your life bar. Or if you're familiar with the TV show Supermarket Sweep, you have to have your hands on the $5,000 before the bell rings. Yeah, I wish there was a game I could show that's kind of equivalent to that. Well, okay, fine. There's Supermarket Shriek on the Switch, and then there's also, Rabbids Go Home on the Wii, which is basically a mix of that and Katamari Damacy. So, of course, I love it. Talking about other, underrated games on a system. Alright, there you go. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be trying to get the health, because, like, I want all the health I can get for the next part of this boss. Oh, I never saw him do it, you know, while he's teleporting before. Okay, I'm glad I got to show that, but not glad I'm dead. Right, yeah, this is part of the reason why the boss is hard, but it's actually the next part that's insanely difficult. And actually, I think I'll show one part of that, because I didn't actually show it off effectively as we went along. In some cases, just wait for those stars to go out from those. Yeah, that's how you can... If you can't tell this game's by Sonic Team, you can tell in this boss because of all the reused sound effects. But I do like how they apply them as well. Oh, no. Yeah, in this case, you basically just keep grabbing like crazy, and you'll hopefully hit stuff. Alright, there, perfect. I think you do this to him about 6 times, and we'll be at the next and final stage. Yeah, he teleports a lot, so that's where things get a little tough. Alright. In this case, I'm not going to hit him as far as that. I'm just going to walk out of the way. Yeah, because the enemies will follow you, so that makes it a little easier. Alright, one more hit, and I think we have the next section. Oh, here we go, perfect. Get that. Yeah, so yeah, we just got teleported up into Death Egg Zone. Yeah, you have this. He drops enemies down. Grab one and hold on to it for dear life. The other thing you can also do is walk in the other direction. But yeah, holding for dear life is the easiest way. Yeah, he'll do that. Yeah, like, he'll shock me, by the way. And I love that effect. Like, hey, I get shocked that way. And then he'll appear for a second. You only have a little bit of time to hit him. You have to hit him 5 times for this. Yeah, avoid that as well. If you get sucked into that, you're going to get hurt, and it is going to be very bad. Yeah, you get sucked over there normally. So sometimes you want to hold this enemy there and hope you don't get hit by the other one. Oh. And he'll also do the hit down with the electricity a random number of times. I think it's between 4. Ow. Yeah, this is why... Yeah, left versus right as far as this game being hard. This is the reason why. This boss is insanely hard. Or can be. Say, like, oh! Okay, that was lucky. I put my arms out, and then he dropped down. Yeah, right, that can happen all the time. That enemy drops down, and I miss it with my hands, because go for the one that appeared before, and then, boom, he pops up, and I'm dead. Alright. Let's do this again. I feel like I could do this, though. Yeah, first time I played this, I was using save states like crazy. Like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just use the rewind. Even when I did, like, some of the practice on this, some of it, I said, I'm trying it that way, but it's like, no, I gotta wean myself off. So it's like the reverse of like how a modern game feasibly could be, in the sense of like, you know, I could play this old game and use save states, but like, yeah, I did that to beat this old game first. Like, yeah, no, we gotta do it the right way. And the only exception to that was Streets of Rage, because it's like, yeah, the end is so hard, I gotta use the level select code. Alright, there you go. Every time you hit him, by the way, he will drop those 2 enemies out. Alright. Alright, yeah, I think I just hold on to him. Hopefully the other one won't drop on my head. Okay. I think it's random where it drops down. Okay, let's just drop another one. Okay. Actually, also, the music here sounds like something out of Sonic. It actually sounds like the final boss of Knuckles Chaotix when we played that. Yeah, because he's not here. Okay, and he's not on the screen there when he does that for long. Oh, yeah, I got lucky. Yeah, give the loving embrace to the enemy there. It's like, yeah, he's helping me live. Inadvertently. Yeah, you basically have to be right there when he's coming down. I think 1 or 2 more hits and we'll have him, I think. Okay, good. Yeah, please don't drop that right on me again. Okay, good, he didn't. Alright, 1 more hit, I think, and he's done. Oh, shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's what happens on this boss. Like, first, let me know, is this the part of the game... Let me know, I know you said how hard this game was and you never beat it. Is this the reason why, or is it something else? I would not say, like, oh yeah, it's unreasonable, this is the reason why. Hey, it's the final boss, it should be the hardest part of the game. Well, then again, you're saying you got to the end of Contra Hardcore, so it's like, hey... It doesn't sound to me like, oh yeah, you don't have skills in games. Like, clearly you do, because I think that game's harder than this one. Oh, parts of this game can be pretty damn difficult. Again, that's why we love playing games like this, or still love playing games as it is. In general, I just never got this far. Okay, where did you get, by the way? Do you happen to remember where the furthest you got playing this was? Whoa. Yeah, in my case, when I first played this, or when I played it later in the collections, I think it was initially playing Sonata where I died a lot, because it seems like that's where I've died the most, aside from here. And, then, I think it was playing Freehan. Round 3, so, playing Scorch. And honestly, actually, no, now that I think about it, I think, that boss for playing Scorch can be a difficult one as well, because, like, you have to be... Oh, shit, I keep forgetting that he doesn't always go back to do the, You know what? I'm almost dead. I want to show what happens when you fall in this. Oh, never mind. That's an instant kill. I forgot about that. Okay, fine. That's a one-hit kill, so don't fall in that. Which is fine. I was low on health anyway. I mean, if nothing else, I do want to try and see if I can avoid getting a game over. I do have 3 lives, because 0 is a life in this. I think the hardest part really is the fact that he moves around so much, the enemies come in there, and also the, warp hole as it is. Oh. Oh, I have, 3 hits going into this. This is actually pretty good. Oh, he dropped another one. Alright. Alright, so that's, 1. So you just had to hit him 5 times here, but total it's... Whoa! I keep forgetting he doesn't always go back to the center for the Whirlpool. I think it's every 2 hits. Oh, no! Alright, yeah, that was clever to be able to do that. Oh! Yeah, just hold on, my friend. You're going down. Actually, that's the hardest part to avoid right there. Because of the fact you sometimes have to be right in the area to, you know, not get hit. Okay, I remember this time. I think 1 more hit and we got him. If we could do this. I love the background, though, as far as, like, the reds and the, I guess, the neons. Alright, one more hit. Got him. Alright, we got him. The boss is cheap. Yeah, well, then again, he's greedy, so yeah, I get that. Yeah, we got him, finally. And, we're getting a nice cinematic look as far as Letterboxd perspective. It is a hard boss, I agree with that, 100%. And some was like, yeah, you have to be... The teleporting thing with the electricity. That's the hardest part, I will say that for sure. Like, slicers in Sonic 2. Yeah, hey, fitting. Another Sonic Team game. Fair enough. That being said, at least this is the end of the game, whereas the slicers were not at the end of the game exactly. Well, them were the the Astrons and the Starcrackers. Alright, we got them, though. So now we are off. And that is the credits. We are not completely done, because we're going to see some of the recaps of what we did, and then also get a little bit of a perspective of what we were talking about early on with, you know, the Star God, as it is. Yeah, there is Ristar helping out the citizens of the Valis, or the Valdi system. I don't know why I say Valis. Okay, Valis is another game franchise, which actually I think there's a edition of that that's on the Super Nintendo side of the Switch Online, as it is. Yeah, that is Ristar for Sega Genesis. It is really hard at the end of it, that's for sure. But it does ramp up well, so like when you beat this game, you do feel a sense of accomplishment for sure when you get to that. But as I said, you're gonna have to bring your A game to it. But it does ease you into it very nicely. The controls are terrific, the music is amazing, the graphics are beautiful, the colors in it. This is a great showcase for it. And as far as a show, I guess a swan song for Sonic Team on this system, not counting them co-developing Sonic 3D Blast with Traveler's Tales. This is quite one to go out of, and it was also great to see, I guess, the perspective of Sega or Sonic Team doing stuff that's not Sonic and seeing like, okay, what do they have? And, yeah, the year after this, we got Nights into Dreams and Christmas Nights into Dreams, which are playing the latter one in 3 weeks. So you definitely get a sense of that, and also hear the music of Tomoko Sasaki, because she also co-developed or co-wrote music for all of the Nights games. Nights, Christmas Nights, and Nights Journey into Dreams for the Wii. In fact, actually, I believe she did the music herself for Nights into Dreams, or Nights Journey into Dreams, the Wii game, I think. I'll put a correction if that's not right, but, yeah, here we go. We are fighting, what's his name? Uranium again. It was like, actually, he I thought I would, you know, go crazy on. Alright, there's the tilty guys. They got rid of the spikes, the spike balls. Like, yeah, I'm, like, on a seesaw. So, yeah. Ristar sometimes just wants to have fun. But there we go. I'll get more to the credits. Yeah, this is a terrific game. You haven't played it. It does get hard, as I mentioned, but this is definitely one of the, pun intended, I guess, shining stars of the Genesis library, and one that, honestly, as I mentioned, doesn't get enough attention, and I'm just as guilty. I feel horrible for that every day when I think about this game. So, like, I wasn't there for this game to play it when it was available to me. I didn't take the opportunity, which I think is why I always push to people. Someone say to me, why do you care so much about, you know, celebrating a game like this or going back to it and saying, like, why are you so insistent on playing it? It's like, you might find something terrific that you want to hold on to for dear life and say to yourself, man, where's this game been all my life? I mean, that game was one of them, Shinobi 3 is another one, and Landstalker as far as Genesis. Those are probably the top 3 Genesis games that I didn't play at the time, but I damn well should have. And Shining Force would probably be number 4. As far as number 5, I don't know what to put in there. But yeah, I was like, yeah, definitely take the chance. And if you have the Nintendo Switch Online, it is, for the expansion pack side of things, you have this. And there's also a bunch of collections on it as well, if you don't want to give Nintendo the money for the Switch Online expansion pack quite yet. And we'll see what happens as far as the stuff that's going on with, where it goes with Paper Mario being added, and hopefully they fix the button lag. I hope so, because, yeah, this is emulated great. We get that for everything, I'd be red as rain. I think everybody else would. Alright, here we go. Dad! Congratulations. So yeah, there you go. On the 3rd day, he rose again in accordance with the scriptures. And now I am seated at the right hand of the Father, who will come again in glory, judge the living and the dead. Yeah, I told you we get unique on this program. Okay, here's the thing also. Passwords. Let's talk about that. I don't remember there's password case if you need to continue the game. There might be. But what happens is that when you get the treasures out of the special, or the bonus stages, they will reveal specific passwords you can put in on the password screen to give you certain things. I think one of those is the boss rush, the Onchi, I don't remember what that is. I know one of them they do give you is the stage select, which is you type out "I love you," but you replace the YOU at the end with just the U. But yeah, there you go. All right, so actually that is more than I got on the test playthrough. So if you get every single one of those, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it does the fade for that for the Switch if you don't hit buttons for a while. Yeah, with that, if you get all of them, you get all of them revealed, or you can look them up online. And you know what? Just as a quick bonus, a very quick bonus, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the Japanese version very briefly. I mean, it's not going to be too much. Okay, no, but I at least want to give a perspective to that. All right, hit the... Oh, no, I always do that. That's the other thing, the capture. Fine, okay, we took the picture of that by mistake. Yeah, the capture button is on the top left of the controller, and I hit that all the time by accident. Yeah, let's show the Mega Drive version off very briefly, but yeah, that is the game, and it is terrific. I've had a great time playing it so far, but I'll at least show a couple of the differences. That will go through the first level and show off that, and then we will head off. Okay, yeah, that's... I guess because I didn't open this for the Japanese side, it tells you, hey, use the mode button to bring up that menu. And it also shows one other difference you're going to see, which is... There's no text crawl in the intro for the Japanese version. The US version explains what's going on, the Japanese version does not. It just shows that Greedy is causing trouble, which feasibly could be a good thing for you, a bad thing for you, if you're saying, like, hey, I want this explained to me, or saying, like, no, show me instead of tell me. But yeah, if you're playing the Japanese version, this is the case. Although if you have the Sega Genesis Classics collection, you can play the Japanese version of that game in it, I believe. I'll take another look off-screen if I make a mistake to that. Okay, that's different as well. I guess the perspective, like the goddess. I don't even think that was in the intro for the US version. Okay, that's why I'm showing this. It's still the same great music. You know, the Star rebirth of, I guess, Sega's version of Jesus, as it is. And again, thank you very much for bringing that up. I love the idea that we can get into that. Yeah, Ristar the Shooting Star. That is the name of the game, as it is. And, yeah, everything else is the same. Okay, they call the grab catch, for some reason, in the Japanese version. And, you know, another thing I'll also do is, yeah, I'll do that after. Yeah, the game is going to be the same as far as how it is. Okay, also, the names of the levels is different. Planet Near, as this one. I'll put in, on the video, when I edit this and upload in a couple days, what the other ones are. As I mentioned, there's a different world on the Game Gear version, which is actually a lot like this. From what I've seen, it's actually a pretty close conversion. It's just that I think some of the levels are different and some of the bosses are different. But outside of that, it's the same game, basically. The one thing I will show and get up to the top here is, yeah, the animation of Ristar. Yeah, he looks a lot happier. Well, yeah, Bird, get on my shot. Whoa, what happened? I touched that and didn't get hurt. What happened? Yeah. Ristar's as confused as I am. You know what? Fine, let's do this. Okay, now I got hurt. Okay, fine. I don't know why I jumped on that and didn't get hurt. Alright, fine, whatever. But yeah, he's much happier in his animation as it is as far as having the smile. He has more of the frown in the US version, for some reason. Although I guess that's like Kirby, to a certain extent, where Kirby was made to look a little more angry and a little more menacing for the US than for Japan, as it was. You know, he is this kind of happy-go-lucky character, but he has that element, and even that animation as it is in the US version. So, yeah, it's a weird case that way, and we'll also get to that when we do Dynamite Heady at some point. You know what, let me do a reset on this, because I do want to end on the sound test. It's fine, I showed this in the Japanese version, because it's the same way between both of them, I believe. Alright, skip that, and go into the options, and listen to the music, which is a great thing to do, because the music is... Oh, right, you have to hit A on that. I keep hitting start there. Alright, there we go. So there we go, back at the concert hall. Although, actually, yeah, a lot of this is in English, so it's like, hey, they did release it for Japan, but there's certain areas of it that they do show in English anyway. Alright, yeah, Ring Rink. Because as I mentioned, this is the track I played that version, or that redone version, for my office Christmas party. As I said, yeah, credit to John Davis, who did the music for that remix. I will absolutely link to that, because it's a beautiful track. If you're ever, like, if you're throwing a holiday party or something, like, you want to get your guests going with video game music while tricking them into thinking it's something legitimate, which it is. Oh, fine. Video game music is legitimate. Do not take that wrong. I want to reword that. If you want to give them video game music without them knowing it, this is the perfect one, or will be a perfect one. And yeah, we have the nice birdie there, the one who was on the perch as it was, doing that really nicely. Alright. I really had a great time doing this game. I mean, I say that every week as far as me having a great time doing the games we do. But I really loved showing this game off, explaining everything I had about it, everything I know about it, everything I love about it. Because honestly, this is one that I think, from the start with this show, I've wanted to do this because I said, I have so much in me to explain on this, so much I need to get out, so much I think I need to, again, do penance for, so the religious perspective is right, and I'm glad we got into that too. So, as I said, we go deep into into gaming in the show. I said, we get into the guts of gaming in every way, shape, or form, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I thank you very much, chat, for that. I enjoyed this. Thank you, Dolly Finn. I agree with you, and I absolutely did, and I had a wonderful time doing this game. And a great one, I guess, for Christmas for the purpose of that world, but feasible for any time of the year. As I mentioned, if you want to play this, it is on Genesis, where it costs a bit of money, but you can get a lot of collections. This was fun. I'm glad. I'm very glad that you're enjoying the show. Like first, Dolly Finn, thank you both and everybody in the chat for adding so much to the show. I've been having such a great time doing this, as I said, all year. Both of you and everybody else in chat as well who's contributed, whether it's been on this stream or on other ones, or inadvertently showing up on my friends list on this stream, as it's been, have added to this program so much. As I said, I just started this last year just because I just wanted to show off gaming, and I want to have an outlet of, me not shutting the hell up about it. Explain to you why I love gaming so much, and why I love certain games, or don't like certain games, or get into that discussion, and get in with all of you. And even now, I'm getting games that, chat, you want to see, and I love just doing that as well. And I'm looking forward to doing that as we go into 2022, as it is. Yeah, kind of tripping over that. Yeah, because this is the first full year of the show. I only did it for like half of 2020. Yeah, I'm loving how the first year of the show has already turned up, but yeah, we're not done yet. Because for the next couple weeks, let's go over that. We're going to continue, I guess, the inadvertent month of Sonic Team, because next week is going to be the close of Super Sonic Games Saturday with Sonic Heroes. We're playing the Xbox version. We will be playing Team Dark Story, and we will be showing off the cutscenes of the other teams. I think I just have to check the file element of that, and I don't know if I have to play through the whole game as it is to do that, because I have a full unlock file, which at some point I do want to show off the super hard mode, but I won't do that next week. We'll do that way down the road. But yeah, we're going to play the Team Dark Story as requested by Electverse and chat. Great. Oh, thank you, Dolly Finn. Appreciate that. And then we'll do the final story. So it'll actually be kind of like how we did Shadow the Hedgehog. And it's fitting because, chat, you have been quoting, or Electverse, you've been quoting Sonic Heroes all year. Pretty much every couple of weeks, which I loved hearing that. I've been bringing it up. We've shown cutscenes for the opening of Team Dark Story back in June. So I can't think of a better one to end Super Sonic Games Saturday for 2021, to end the celebration of the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess we're doing it on top of that because we're doing Ristar, and we're doing the game we're doing 2 weeks after that, which will be Christmas Nights for the Sega Saturn. That's going to be on Christmas Day, and I'll have that going for that. And as I said, also, if you're not able to make it for Christmas Day, that's fine, but I will also have it up on the YouTube site a couple days later for the purpose of that, because, yeah, I want to show that game off. And the week after Sonic Heroes, though, we're going to be going back to Kingdom Hearts for Part 4. I definitely got to get a sense of where we're going to be going. And then we're going to Hollow Bastion, the castle in Hollow Bastion, fair enough. And then what we're going to do for everything else, because I guess we're sort of getting close to the end on that, kind of. I know there's things I want to do specific for how this is, and I think also there might be some off-screen grinding going for some of those, because I know we got to go back to the Coliseum again. We have to fight Sephiroth. We will do that. I will, for that, just to give a little bit of an idea, I will probably do, at some point, some of the off-screen grinding for levels for that. I will not fight that boss until I'm on camera. I will do that fresh. I will, I'm not going to practice that. I think we got to handle that one together that way. That's not going to be next month, I don't think, but I'll get a better sense of that next week while I hit the button again to stop the fade. Alright, so next week, as I mentioned, Sonic Heroes. Week after that, Part 4 of Kingdom Hearts. Christmas Day is going to be Christmas Nights for Sega Saturn. And then we get into January, where I will say this, I will be off on New Year's Day. The show will take a little bit of holiday for that. But on January 8th, I'll see what we can do with what what Protorova's thinking, if we can do for January 8th to start The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I'll see how we can do that. And then we will also do the next part of Kingdom Hearts sometime that month, and Final Fight 2 for Super Nintendo. And I think we have another week free. So I'll see what other things I have in line. Actually, also, I guess going into the stuff for next year, just to quickly go on that. There are definitely a couple of gaming anniversaries that are going to be happening either on the day of the show for Saturday that I will be, handling, or there will be certain cases where I'm going to have, like, specific, centennials. There's a couple of 25th anniversaries that I'm going to celebrate for sure next year. And I'll be doing those around the time as they happen. I can think of 2 of them off the top of my head for March and August of next year. Yeah, I'm planning this show far out. People say, like, do you necessarily need to plan it out that far? I was like, yes, we do. We have a lot of games to this, and I want to get all my ducks in a row as far as that, or birds in a row is the case of this one, and take all your requests as we go along, and I love doing that as well, and having the memories or hearing your memories of that and making them as well. Even when it's mean playing the game for the first time, or the first time or just a couple times. Actually, yeah, no, because I got a master list of that as everything you've provided. And again, thank you very much for those suggestions, and to quote the Console Wars program, keep those suggestions coming, and we will get to them. Yeah, I think with that, we'll close off for Super Old Game Saturday for tonight. For Ristar, the Shooting Star, I had a wonderful time playing this. Thank you very much for joining me in chat for this one, and celebrating this wonderful game. Thank you and good night. Thank you very much, Stellyfin, and good night to you. Good night to Electverse. Good night to everybody in the chat. Hope you have a great rest of your night, rest of your weekend, and week coming forward. And I will see you next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sonic Heroes for the Xbox. I'm looking forward to playing that. Great show. Thank you. And yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Dollyfin, and Electverse and everyone, just to go to that. But at the same time, I said, fine. If you think I'm not doing a great show, don't be afraid to tell me, no, you could improve in a certain way. I don't mind that. I'll take the constructive criticism. No issue that way. But I also want to say, is like, it's not just me. This is absolutely not just me, making this a great show. In fact, in some ways, it's not really much of me either. It's just me being, I guess, sort of lazy in the sense, like, I'm picking a controller up, playing a game, having a discussion. You're driving a discussion. I don't know what I'm going to get when I play any game on this show, where it goes, and you make the show. I mentioned that this is much your show as it's my show. I mean that, and that's the reason why, because you drive where it goes, and I love that you do that, and they're willing to do that. It's fabulous, I learn a lot. Yeah, and as I said, I learn a lot too. It's not just me coming here. As I mentioned, I'm going to go back to this one more time on Ristar, just to hammer this point home, and why I was so, adamant in saying, like, we need to do this game. I need to show you this game. I need to tell you about this game. I need to share this game with the world. Because, as I said, I regret often. Sometimes I'll mention regrets of life or gaming as it is. One of my regrets is not renting this game when I had it in my hands at the Blockbuster store, like, about 26 years ago. And it is also one of those things that, yeah, in some ways, yeah, I've learned a lot as far as what I've been seeing on this game with some of the stuff I've been doing, but also I want to show this game. I think it's important. I think gaming is important for a lot of reasons. I mean, look, it's an entertainment medium, but it can also go deeper, and also deeper into ourselves. And we mentioned that when we did the last part, Kingdom Hearts, but that's really why I wanted to do this, and as I mentioned, I learned a lot from all of you in the chat, so it's not just me saying, like, look how great this game is, and, let me tell you and lecture you about, like, why this is important, because I think maybe the idea is, like, hey, if I did that, you'd run away. You'd say, like, I don't want to see this show, this guy's an asshole, what's he doing, lecturing me like this? I don't want to do that. I never want to put myself in a position like that where I'm coming off that way. I want all of you with me. I think that's the beauty of this, and that's what the show has become. And chat, a year and a half ago when I started doing this, I never would have thought to myself that this is what it would be. This intimate, kind of relaxing hangout, where, as I said, you're telling me what your experiences might be, if there are any, and I'm learning a lot from that, or from the game I'm playing as well, of things like, hey, I want to see something. So, I can't thank you enough for that. As we're going into the holiday season, we have Christmas coming up 3 years, not 3 years, that'd be funny. It's like 3 years till Christmas, no, 3 weeks till Christmas, to this day. That's one thing I'm going to say throughout this entire year that I've cherished so much. And it sounds like maybe it's not much, but really, it has meant a lot to me, and you've all made that happen. And I can't, thank you enough for that. Alright, so yeah, with that and me getting mushy as it is, and I'll probably be doing that in 3 weeks for Christmas, for the last show of the year. It's a fun Saturday night. Well, I'm glad you think that. And, yeah, Dollyfin waiting for Christmas 3 weeks from now. yeah, you're going to like Christmas nights. We do that in 3 weeks for sure. I do have to do some unlocks for that to show off everything I can show off with it. But yeah, with that, I will once again bid you a good night for Super Old Games Saturday. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for everything you do to make the show what it is and what it's become. And I'm looking forward to keeping this going into the next couple weeks and into the next year, and as long as I can keep it going. And with that, have a nice rest of your night. Great weekend coming forward, or week coming forward as well. And I will see you next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sonic Heroes for the Xbox. Until then, bye-bye, Dolly Finn. Bye-bye, Alec Verse. Bye-bye, everyone in the chat. Keep being awesome. I'll see you next week, and take care.